All right, hey, how's it going? Oh, I forgot to get my headphones, didn't I? One sec. I don't really use them for anything right now, but not a bad idea, I guess. Cool. Hey, everybody. So today we're gonna be doing some more work, kind of picking up where we left off yesterday, working on the HTTP API stuff first. But there's been a couple of developments in the last 24 hours or so with regards to the future of tools like GoLint. So let's see if I can just pull up that issue. Let's see here. I assume this will... maybe not. There we go. Okay. I should have just got a link to it, but... it's probably on the first page, right? Lint. Am I missing it? Yep. Here we go. So there is this proposal out right now. Thanks, Dominic. I appreciate it. There is this proposal right now to essentially freeze and possibly remove GoLint. Essentially, the tool has been unmaintained for a number of years now. Its functionality is mostly supplanted by tools like Dominic's excellent static check. There are people who want various configurable knobs in it, like whether they don't want to write documentation comments or some other stylistic things. So effectively, community tools have kind of eclipsed what GoLint is good for, and now that tools like static check are actually integrated with GoPlease, there is less motivation to keep this in the Golang org as an official project. So what I'm going to do today, I've been talking with Dominic, and it sounds like essentially static check can replace GoLint for all the uses I care about, including documentation comments. So first step today is going to be ripping out GoLint. This will be nice because I think it doesn't play as well with things like vendor directories either, which I use in CoreRAD. So we're going to rip that out and turn on all the checks in static check and see what happens. And also, I actually have a pre-release version of static check right now based on the new runner branch that Dominic is working on that should allow me to do things pretty quickly. But that being said, there's a cache anyway. But it's pretty cool. Some pretty awesome CPU and memory reductions in static check. So with that being said, let's get going on that. So first step here, I'm pretty sure I'm only running GoLint in the Linux build file. Yeah. So we can go ahead and just rip that out. So this is actually probably a good time to vendor in static check into my project, right? So I think Dominic recommends running or vendoring in the copy you're actually using versus me fetching it here on the fly. So if I just do this go get, is this going to give me the latest stable static check for CI? Because I think that's probably fine. I'm running a newer version locally, but I guess we'll find out really quick. Yep, 2021.3, that's what I expect. And now it is in our Go mod file. Okay. With modules, gets you the latest release with Go Path and Master. Yep, I'm on modules. Cool. So now that that's in there, let's go ahead and go mod vendor. So now we have all of the files. Hello? Do we? Interesting. Maybe we don't. I would have expected that to add the source code for static check, right? Interesting. So I guess I'm not really sure how it works if you're importing like a tool into your Go mod file. I guess maybe we'll see what happens with this, or perhaps Dominic has some insight. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and keep fetching NCI. It's probably fine. I personally don't mind running either the latest releases or closer to master because I'm happy to accept the breakage. Yeah, it looks like I actually broke my CI script here. Oops. I moved some of these into the... I did what I was talking about yesterday, and I actually moved some of the development scripts into this new scripts directory. So we have the CI build, which checks for license headers as well as each file is formatted. Should probably get around and package static check for Arch. Yeah, totally. It is a phenomenal tool. You know, very, very good work. Definitely something I recommend running on all of your code bases. I don't mind people go getting it from CI anymore now that they get a stable release from Go proxy. Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. So I ran Go mod tidy and it got rid of it, so I suspect that I guess I'll just leave it as is for now. Maybe this is something to look at. Yeah, okay, tree's clean. But in the meantime, we're going to be fetching it from the latest tag, which is fine. That's actually a pretty acceptable behavior. It's pretty fast in CI anyway. So we are wiping out GoLint. That's good. Yeah, I had to pass different arguments to GoLint because if I just GoLint the entire tree, it would lint all the vendored code, and there's lots of stuff in vendor that was not lint clean. Excuse me, my throat's been kind of hoarse this morning and everything, so I'm drinking some tea now. Hopefully it's not too bad, but let me know. Also, I slightly adjusted my audio levels. The first stream I did a few different things that possibly negatively impacted the audio quality, so if things are too quiet or weird, let me know. As for go mod tidy, because nothing imports the package, there are some tricks there with various drawbacks. Happy to discuss in Slack. Okay, sounds good. I have been habitually go mod tidying because I don't understand in what circumstances it needs to clean up or not. So this just comes down to one of those things where I don't understand the module tooling as well as I perhaps should. But that being said, I don't really work on Go tools very much. I am very much a consumer. But yeah, thank you for the information. So we've got static check now, and now what I want to do actually is enable all the other checks. So I understand you can do file-based like whitelists and stuff, but I actually want, so let's go to static check IO. I want to create a file at the root of my project that enables all of the checks, and I'm sure Dom's got some good documentation for this. So, right, example configuration, all minus, okay. So if I were to add a static check.conf and do all, without the minuses, would that give me every single check, including docs? At least that's my understanding, because I think the list of initialisms is fine. I could potentially add more, actually. Yep, cool, okay. That's really easy, then. I don't think I've ever written a config file for this before. I kind of don't really believe in configuring tools if you can avoid it, but that being said, I think in this case it's merited, because I want to enable additional checks. Static check.conf. Checks all. Enable every check, including exported comment, including documentation for exported identifiers. Okay. So now if I go ahead and break something in my tree somewhere, so let's go to internal build, and we're going to wipe out, how about banner for now? So I'm getting an error here, exported function banner. Oh, this is probably static check within my editor, isn't it? Because I've got that actually enabled within VS Code, but I suspect if I run this over here as well... is that too low? Okay, one sec. So I think this is the first time I've run this with the... Okay, it didn't pick that up. Am I running the... Do I have the file named right? staticcheck.conf? Yeah, the whole GoTools moniker... all the package, Dominic says in the chat, all package repos I've seen package everything and call the package GoTools. I really wish they'd just package static check and call it static check. Yeah, the GoTools moniker is a little confusing. I understand that's just the name of like your little mono repo where you develop things, but... Cool. So, interesting here. So I'm not seeing the... If I run static check over the whole tree... It's not picking that up when I have checks all. Do I have the wrong permissions on this? Mono repo for life. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I would think that would be okay. What if I go into internal build? Nothing. Am I missing something here? This should work. Well, so I'm also running the pre-release copy. Maybe the config file is slightly broken in the pre-release. So let's see here. Static check version. Oh, I could have sworn I was running. Okay. Hello. Bin static. I could have sworn I was running the new runner version. This is even more strange. I guess it's not that big of a deal for now. I'm pretty strict about doc comments anyway, and it appears that it's being picked up in my editor at least, so I suspect this is static check within the 2021-3 includes the checks, though. Yeah. Does the location of the file matter? Because I've got the configuration file at the root of the repo. Would this not take effect within other directories? Static check dash checks all. Okay, so you think maybe it's ignoring the command line? Dash checks equals all dot slash dot dot dot. Nothing. Do I have any build tags on this? No, I did not. I'm not going to rule out that I don't have like a... Well, I guess let's get a new copy of static check and find out. So I'll go ahead and remove the local copy just in case. I could have sworn I was running the newer runner yesterday, but so I wonder what I did. I didn't put anything. Okay. Yep. So now I have which static check. Okay. Right. Oh. Inconsistent vendoring. Oh. Is not marked as explicit. So, okay. Go mod vendor. Go mod tidy. Yeah, this seems odd. I guess I would have, since you know this works in the release, I'm curious what about my environment is different. If there's some environment variable I have, maybe? One sec. Let me verify. Let me check something before I show it on stream. But go env. What does go list say? Okay, I'll run that in just a sec here. Okay, I don't see anything super out of the ordinary in my environment. There's a couple things I'd have to filter out, but I can show that on stream if I need to. Go list. Yeah, those are the packages I would expect. So internal build is where I debugging live on Twitch is a first for me. Yeah, pretty fun, huh? If you're busy, this really isn't a big deal. We can get back to this later. We can do this off stream. I don't mind. I don't mind helping out for like a few minutes and stuff. But yeah, certainly this could be more difficult than something like a Slack debugging session. Sure. Yeah, that's odd. Okay. Well, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna commit this as is because Dominic says it should work, and perhaps maybe we could try it in CI, right, and just see what happens. So this is intentionally broken now. So git add. Maybe it's something with my environment. I don't know. Vendor modules. Oh shoot. Get diff. Yeah. So let's put the. We'll leave the static check declaration in there so it knows which version to use. I think that's probably okay. So git add builds, which is the CI build, update the vendor folder, as well as the static check configuration. Let's see here. So builds, switch fully to static check. Well, I guess remove golint. Remove golint, switch fully to static check. Okay. Let's pull up the... I can reproduce it locally. I'll do some digging. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, this is one of the things where I just assumed that the problem is probably on my end, right? So, oh yeah, my FreeBSD builds have been... Oh, this build failed too. Oh yeah, I broke the script. The FreeBSD builds in CI have been failing, and I'm not really sure why. I don't have a FreeBSD development VM set up at the moment. That's something I think we should do too, is potentially see how this works on BSD. But I don't really want to go through and install, a BSD environment with Go and all that stuff right now. But I'll probably try and set up like a VS Code remote environment on there, and then we can do that one day. Okay, so we're pulling in static check 2021.3. That's what I'd expect. Oh, I spelled it wrong, didn't I? Shoot. Scripts is plural. And... I wonder if I should get rid of the -v's on here, honestly, because it's so verbose now in the CI output. I'm not sure it's actually that helpful anymore, right? So we'll see what works anyway, but I'm just going to remove all of the verbose flags for now. We're going to amend that last commit because I don't like pushing typo fix, stuff like that. And now we will wait for a new CI job. So this is, I think I mentioned this the other day, but this is SourceHut. This is the CI build service from them. It's cool because they support OSs like FreeBSD and OpenBSD, which is great for example, my WireGuard control project, which actually needs to interface with the user space devices on like a BSD machine. So that's super cool, actually, but it works pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. I think I probably am going to go to GitHub Actions for Linux, but that's just something I haven't done quite yet. So let's see what happens here. And we're doing the builds on Arch because Arch packages new versions of Go and Ubuntu does not. So keeps things easy. Love GitHub Actions. Yeah, they seem pretty good. I have been working with them pretty briefly in a couple of other projects, and they seem like they're quite nice. I think I was kind of waiting for the ecosystem to settle, but Just want to verify this works. I don't think I committed the thing that would break it either. That's okay. We can do it later. But yeah, no more GoLint. Feels good. I personally like GoLint. I know people have different opinions. I think it's good to have a machine tell you some of the nitpicky things versus a human, right? But some people feel differently, and that's okay, you know. Yep, tests pass. It's outputting a bunch of logs anyway. Huh. You know, I would have thought that if I removed -v, the logs would go away. But it's okay. Anyway, it looks like things are working. So, cool. Yep, CI build passes. We're good. No more GoLint. Sweet. So, for now, we'll remove that. Cool. So that is the first thing I wanted to do today. And with that out of the way, we can move on to other stuff. Opinions on Golang, CI lint, metalinter, etc. I think those tools are cool. I think that some of the checks included with them can sometimes be a little much. So I generally think more static analysis tooling is good, but when you get to things like GoCyclo, which counts the cyclomatic complexity of branches. So for example, if you have a function with like lots and lots of switch cases, or similar, it will provide a warning for that, which is generally good, but sometimes like if you're in the context of like a test, some tests are just like, some tests are just going to be very long, and that's just kind of the way it is, you know? So I like running tools, but the only ones I run myself on a regular basis are vet and now static check. So I don't generally bother with Go, metalinter, and etc. Although, so I do have on the README for CoreRAD, I do have the Go report card badge. Let's see here. There we go. So this Go report card is pretty cool, actually. I do like this tool. My complaint with it at the moment is it does not recognize octoliterals. I think it's running on an old version of Go. So it claims that all these files are not formatted, but they are. So see, I'm using the new octal syntax of 00644, and I don't think it recognizes that. And this also does run GoCyclo. So I think that this is a pretty nice little tool, kind of a slight indication of like the quality of a project. So I generally put this on my projects as well. But for example, when you have things like test coverage, right? I think that striving for 100% test coverage in Go is a waste, because you're going to have so many error checks and things that you just don't want to have to bother, checking every single case unless you're explicitly handling the error in some way, right? So, I don't know. Always find myself having to configure it. I like things with same defaults. Yep, me too. Did I say hex? I thought I said octal. Yeah, so the 0 syntax is the new octal syntax. I may have said hex. Sorry. Thanks for that. But I like that syntax because it's more explicit, and I've had people, write octal literals before by accident by adding a leading 0. Oh, hey, good to see you here. We're doing some programming stuff, so we're going to get a little into the weeds, but thank you for joining. I appreciate it. So I think what I want to work on today is I want to go back to the HTTP stuff. So yesterday we got to the point where we are here now. So we have basic test coverage of this. We need to deduplicate the structures a little bit, and I want to test some of these cases that add like 500s, but we can do that today. So let's get cracking. So I think probably the first thing to do is going to be we need to open up the system package and look at that test forwarder type, or test, not forwarder, system state. Because I want the ability to return errors from these, so that way we can do things like verify the error case here, see that we get a 500, etc. And also, I want to be able to individually control the state of a given interface. So I think what we can do here is add a couple of tunables here. So let's see. Autoconf and forwarding. Enable or disable. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make it so that we have the option to disable or enable per interface, but also we can do a global override. So these are going to be global settings for any interface name. And then we're going to have a map down here, I think, that we can configure so that we can do things like returning a different response for different interfaces. And we'll also have an error which can be returned as well. So ts.autoconf, ts.error. So that way, if we want to test the error cases, we can do that too. Alternatively, you may configure parameters individually on a per interface basis. So I think what we're going to need to do here is test state interface, right? So it's going to be a structure that also supports probably the same settings. Do we really care about parameterizing the error? I don't know. I think for now we'll parameterize the autoconf and forwarding, perhaps. A test state interface sets the state configuration for a single network interface. Or let's say a simulated network interface. So map string. Oh, no kidding. So Dominic says in the chat, turns out the check only flags malformed doc strings, not missing doc strings. I'll put it on my to-do list. Cool. Sounds good to me. That's good to know. So let's see here. Interfaces is going to be a map of string to test state interface. So per interface basis. Note that these configurations will override any global configurations set above. So what we'll do now is, let's see here. We're going to take the name of a network interface. We're going to take the name of a network interface, and we are going to check it for it in the map. So TSI for test state interface, okay. That is going to be TS interfaces iface. And if there are settings found for it, so if okay, we're going to return TSI autoconf. And nil error. Nil error? Or TS error. I guess we could return TS error, but because we don't parameterize the error per interface, but all back to global configuration. Cool. So this is going to give us a little bit more flexibility in our tests. We can do things like enabling or disabling the forwarding state or autoconf state for a given interface, as well as putting errors in our returning errors as part of our state so that we can test for them. Cool. Yep, same deal, but this is going to be the forwarding parameter instead. Oh yeah, I dropped a couple links on Reddit today about this on the Golang Reddit as well as the IPv6 Reddit, so I'm curious if we have some folks from there. That'd be cool. Let's see. I don't think I see any comments on Reddit at least, but if you are here, welcome. Super happy to have you. If there are folks watching right now who don't have Twitch accounts, I highly encourage making one. That way you can hang out. Oh, nice. So from the IPv6 subreddit. That's great. Hey, thank you. Thank you for joining. Oh, awesome. So we have 2 people. That's awesome. Yeah, I am Matt. I'm mostly a member of the Go community, and I focus on like networking problems. So kind of what I'm doing today is writing tests for my IPv6 daemon. I call it CoreRAD. I can give a quick demonstration of how it works if folks are interested, but basically, we'll just run the test again. So I have this tool I created called NDP. It's essentially the equivalent of like rdisk6, but if I run NDP rs, this router solicitation is being served from CoreRAD on my router, which is pretty cool. So if I curl the router's webpage, version 0.2.3 beta, you can see it's running on my router. We can check the Prometheus metrics. So this is another cool feature I added. So we can grep for, do we have prefix? No, we don't yet. Sad. I'll have to get the new one packaged for NixOS. So we can grep for the, for example, router advertisement. And we can see, you know, that these given interfaces on my router have served, for example, 82 unicast router advertisements and 720 multicast on the primary LAN, or we have the guest LAN. The guest LAN has done no unicasts, really. I guess I don't think there are any devices really active on there right now. Maybe not. We've got the IoT LAN as well as the lab LAN. So yeah, this is a pretty cool project. I'm having a really good time working on it. So I decided to start streaming it, and I'm happy you folks are here. So welcome. Thank you for joining. So back to what we were doing. Let's go back over here. So we're going to write some more test cases and verify that we actually do the right thing when we receive like an error, for example. So if we can't fetch the IPv6 forwarding state because of some problem, I would be pretty surprised if procfs didn't work, but who knows, right? Cool. So now that we have this parameterized, I think that we have no test coverage in this package. Should we test the test functions? I feel like we probably should, right? It won't take very long at all. So state test.go. We're going to copy the license header because I will forget and CI will complain later. Otherwise, system test. Test state. Seems silly, right? But I guess that's really what it is. We're testing the test state type. So given some set of inputs, so given a test state, we are going to, let's see, we want to probably run some functions on it and verify the behaviors, like the override behaviors. So I think we'll probably do a similar pattern to what we did for the handler. So we're going to have like a check function that will be invoked where we pass in the test state, invoke functions on it, and check for various portions. So test state. Is this what I want to do? I guess we could check for like, yeah, I think it is what I want to do because we want to be able to configure different interfaces and test different cases. I think this is probably fine. So if we configure no interfaces, what we're going to do is, let's see here, TT check. We're going to pass the T from the test, and then we're going to pass the test state as well. Yeah, this is a little strange having the test body be so small, but this is kind of where I like these closures because you can do pretty interesting things. So, for example, we have a test state here. These all should be system test state. I know there's like a multi-cursor thing I could do. I really should figure out how to do that. System test state. Nope, that messed that up. Test state, right? The system package, there we go. Okay, so go imports, got it now. So there are no network interfaces configured, so we're going to have an empty test state. I guess maybe we don't want pointer here, so we have to deal with like nilness problems. Do I have the pointer implementing the... I do. We're never going to modify the state of this, so let's get rid of the pointers. So now we can get rid of that, we can get rid of this, we can get rid of this. Okay. So when we have no interfaces, we would expect the configuration to be whatever it is that we pass in. So right now, we want, let's see here, so auto error, TS, IPv6, autoconf, eth0, failed to fetch auto configuration. So we expect false, and we're going to get false because nothing has been configured. Unexpected auto configuration. Yep. And we're going to check forwarding as well. So essentially what we're doing right now is we're creating an abstraction that allows us to decouple from the system state for the purposes of unit tests. So instead of having to set up a network interface and manipulate the procfs, I am decoupling from that so I can do things in a more clean way for tests that don't really have to care about the system state, but just something that behaves like it. So unexpected forwarding. Yep. Okay, so that passes. So now we should have a little bit of test coverage, which is good. Cool. Right, I invoked the same function twice. Forwarding. We could probably make a shortcut function to do this error check for us, right? I guess we don't really need to, but we potentially could. Anyway. So there's no interfaces configured. Everything returns false, right? So global error. So now we're going to create a test state that will always return errors. Let's assume the system's in some weird state. So the error is going to be OS error permission, right? Yeah, that's fine. So we'll say, like, permission denied to read procfs. Let's suppose, I don't know, maybe you're running CoreRAD in a container and you did not give it the ability to read the procfs or something. I don't actually run that much container stuff. I feel like I'm kind of behind the curve, right? But my router runs NixOS, so I don't really have a reason to run that kind of stuff on there. So what we'd expect now is the error for both of these should be permission denied. Not errors is OS. The error, OS error permission. There is also OS errors not exist, but I think this is generally the preferred. This is preferred now, right? So in Go 1.13, or whenever the error helpers came out, you do generally want to do these is checks instead of like OS is not exist, right? I think that's the case. Fatal. Error was not. So this will be auto configuration. Error was not. We'll do unexpected. So unexpected auto configuration error, %v, which gives us the error t fatal f. And the same deal for the forwarding state. Expected forwarding error. Errors is undeclared name. Oh, did you literally just package static check for Arch during this stream? That's pretty cool if you did. Nice. Yeah, last updated May 9th. Very cool. Nice work. Hey, I'm sure the Arch community appreciates that. Actually, shoot, so that means I could, since my CI builds are Arch, I could just fetch static check now from the Arch repositories. I also packaged the Go compiler. Awesome. Sweet. Well, thank you for your service and everything doing that. That's super useful. I think Go Please is just a little behind here because it definitely is imported. So now we get to the error we expect. That's great. Okay. Probably got to wait for the merest updates. So depending on where you live, give it an hour. Okay, cool. We can try that later actually because I'm using static check and CI, so why not? So now instead of a global error, we're going to do a per interface. So we'll do a eth0 is set for, so eth0 special case, eth0 override. So we'll have two interfaces here. We're gonna have it so that the global settings are false, or, well, I guess what we want to do is probably test at least two different interfaces here with different configurations, and possibly a third that falls back to the global, right? So I think what we probably want here is the global state is going to be false. The per interface state is going to be something along the lines of eth0. I can omit the key, can't I? So autoconf is going to be true, and forwarding is going to be true. For 1, there will be no auto configuration, but we'll still forward. And then for 2, there will be neither. Or do we want to specify? No, we'll just fall back to the global configuration, I think. Cool. So now what we want is, I feel like we could probably tidy this up a bit. So given, let's see here. So a string within the array of strings, which is eth0, eth1, and eth2, we're going to verify the auto configuration state and the forwarding state for all of them. So auto error t fatal f failed to fetch auto configuration. This is going to take the interface name as a parameter, and we'll do the same thing for the forwarding state. WD forwarding. So failed to fetch forwarding. And now we are going to verify for each given interface it lines up with what is in the map. Is there an easy way I could do that? I guess I could build the structure for the interface and compare it against what's in the map, but I don't have access to what's in the map. Oh, I do, actually. I do, because it's passed in as a parameter. Sweet. Okay, so TS interfaces. So let's see here. So assuming the interface is found. So first of all, let's check. So TSI, okay. If the interface is not found, we want to infer the globals, which is going to be false, false. Not in the map. Assume false, false. Right? So we can, I guess, construct a synthetic thing here for the comparison. So want colon equals people need to give Matt more recognition for his unit tests. Something so stateful and OS specific yet has solid tests. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I tend to go overboard. So I tend to get myself in trouble because I will change one thing and have to go back and fix, 30 tests. But I guess that's better than not, right? But yeah, I'm very picky about writing good tests. I think it's important, and in my mind, like, software is not really done unless you've tested it well. We don't actually need to specify anything because the 0 value will be false, false. So that's great. So let's see here. So we're looking for the empty test state interface because that's going to have false, false for both. And we are going to construct a synthetic one that will be TS interface is S. Take the autocomp state from auto and the forwarding state from FWD. Unexpected interface state. Unexpected global interface state. So now we're going to have the per interface overrides down below, which is going to line up with what's in the map. So we'll factor got out because that is going to be what we're comparing against. And now we will do a comparison against what is in the map. So you want TSI, so you want whatever was the input, and you got the output. So unexpected per interface state. So given these 3 network interfaces, we will now check the state for each of them, compare it, and verify the overrides all work appropriately. And cool, we're good. So definitely, 100 lines of tests for a couple of functions here was a little overkill, but now we know that we have a solid fixture we can use in the future. So I think that's probably a good thing. Cool. So let's commit that really quick and then move on. Actually, I think we're going to have to change a couple of other things, right? So, I thought I changed the pointerness of this structure. So, really? Were we not using this anywhere? Shoot. Only in internal... Oh, no, we're using it in advertised. So those tests didn't run? Because I think I just changed it so that the value receivers implement the interface and not the pointer receivers. Unless there's some Go magic here I'm not familiar with, like the pointer receiver is dereferencing to the value methods. So I guess, does this also hold? So if I say state, does the pointer to a test state also implement the interface? It would seem it does. Huh, okay. I guess that's fine. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but today I learned, I suppose. Right. So I just want to go make sure really quick, the couple of places that we use this, I would like to state test, state test, state, state, state. Okay, so we need to check the handler and the CoreRAD advertise test. Okay. Let's do that. Test state. We're going to remove the pointers. This will now be a value type more so, for lack of a better term. Right? Because the value also influences the interface, not just the pointer. And then we have what was ever in the advertise test state. Yeah, Go does a bunch of automatic dereferencing, such as for value receiver methods. Yeah, I think I kind of knew that. I think I just forgotten, to be honest, but that's good to know. So I would expect all the tests to still pass now. We removed the pointers from everything, but Let's run them really quick. Should take like 3 seconds. Yeah, not bad. Thankfully, I was able to parallelize a lot of the tests. There were things that were pretty slow for a while. But cool. So, internal system. Let's see. Add more tunables for test state. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. So that is pushed, and now we will go back to what we intended to do, which was writing tests for the HTTP server. So kind of where we got to last time. If I run this locally, I can show you all what it does. Let's see here. Make /CoreRAD-C. Right, okay. So we're going to build it. We're going to give it the... So CoreRAD needs 2 capabilities to work. It needs CapNet Raw, which allows the use of IPv6 sockets on Linux, as well as CapNet Admin, which we need to actually set the interface auto configuration state. Because when we're sending router advertisements, we want to turn off auto configuration on the interface, because I believe otherwise you can influence your own interface with your own router advertisements, which is strange, right? Failed to... Am I outputting to the wrong spot? I thought that it was going to put the binary in. Let's see. Let's check the makefile really quick. I guess we don't need to use the makefile, but we... Oh, yeah, we are outputting it out there, aren't we? Yeah, I guess for now, we can just do this. It doesn't really matter. So, if I run this, set cap, etc. Oh, that's right. I need to initialize the test interfaces. So we have a test veth pair that will actually set up a couple of veths that talk to each other, and then we are able to send router advertisements and receive router solicitations over them as well. So command CoreRAD, go build. We want the same thing again. We want the capabilities. I've been running this with sudo, but I feel like I should get out of that habit. You know, it's just not a good idea. So we are now running this, and what we will see is if I curl localhost 9430, we are running the development beta. There is no information linked in right now. So where we got last time is, let's go full screen really quick. Move that down. So we have localhost 9430 API interfaces, I believe. Curl-s into JQ. There we go. So what we have now is I wanted the ability to fetch whatever router advertisement state is currently being generated. So for example, I have 2 interfaces configured. The CRAD v0 is going to be advertising. It is going to specify a lot of defaults such as current hop mode of 64, selection preference medium, etc., etc. And veth1 is not advertising at all. It's actually disabled. So how I did that is we look over at the config file. So for a couple of the folks from Reddit and such, if you haven't seen this yet, my config file is very similar to something like radvd. So essentially you specify the interface, its name, whether or not you want it to advertise, and then something like a prefix, and you're pretty much done. And also the trick of the : /64 also works. In this case, I am doing explicit prefixes because I don't want to assign to the... Well, you know what? I guess we could just do that, right? I think that's probably a pretty fair thing to do. So really quick... Let's take this prefix and add it to our script so that we assign a prefix to that interface every single time we bring it up. That seems like a good idea. So, can you assign addresses before a link is up? I guess I'm not sure. So sudo IP adder add. I created a ULA range, so /64 on dev crad v0. So now the v0 will always have a subnet assigned to it. No, I want add : 1. It will always have a subnet assigned. It will lop off the host portion and just take the /64 network, and anything that isn't that /64 range will be served. So I can do this now, and we can still serve a prefix explicitly just for testing as well, but now only one will be assigned to the interface. So if I go back and run the development script again, let's close that. Develop. Do the password thing once again. Cool. So IP-6 adder show. We can see it right there as well, but yes. So now we have a we have a subnet assigned to this interface, which has the ULA prefix with a /64. We have the : 1 is the address of our router. And then ULA, I'm not familiar with that emote. Sweat. I believe in ULAs. I know some people don't, but until Charter gives me a 56 that never changes, I will keep using ULA. And even then, I love my ULAs, so. Cool, so I think we're at the point now where we can go back to working on this. Let's see here. I think my friends might be day drinking. Right, so we wanted to refactor this out. What's the test coverage like so far? I think we've gotten most of the good paths. We want to test the bad path. Yeah, so we want to verify what happens if we can't fetch the forwarding state. We want to see an HTTP 500, I would think. That would give us some indication that something is wrong. So, no interfaces. Let's see here. So we'll copy one of these tests. Should we have the error case down below, maybe? I guess that's probably fine. Error fetching forwarding. So forwarding is going to be true, but we're going to return an error. So error is going to be OS error permission. So now, to do parameterize, I did that. So we can remove that to do. Sweet, sweet, and sweet. Shoot, and sweet. There we go. So now what we're going to do is verify that when we call this API, assuming the forwarding call returns an error, we receive an HTTP 500 instead of JSON. Day drinking, or as they call it in the UK, drinking. Yeah, the only problem is people interrupting their drinking. I went to GopherCon UK last year. I went down there and I spoke. That was my first time at the UK, first time in London. I had a blast, actually. I think that pub culture is kind of hilarious. Like the whole, everybody's kind of expected to buy and drink around. That was pretty funny. There was one time where I got back to the table and I had basically just given friends beers and I sat down with my beer and 30 seconds later my friend finishes it and he's like, "Oh, it's your turn." And it's like, dude, like I've drank this much of my beer. Like, come on. It was super funny. So this is something I find myself wondering a lot too. So right now we're going to be printing a plain text error, but the API normally returns JSON. So in the case of like a 500, like, should you print out JSON? I feel like I don't really need to for this because it's like a debugging thing, but that's kind of like a philosophical question, right? If you get a 500, is there anything useful you can infer from the body? I don't know. So I guess in this particular case, we are going to... We'll leave it as is for now, but if anybody has opinions, I'd love to hear them. I honestly don't know. I'm not much of a web APIs person, really. I've kind of moved into the lower layers a lot of the time. So what we'd expect is the body to contain something along the lines of IMO, anything goes for a 500. Consumers shouldn't expect parse of 500 anyway. Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe they would just like print out the body in plain text. The pubs I go to in London use a web app to track tabs that doesn't accept American credit cards. Solves the get the round problem. That's fantastic. Yeah, London was really cool. I am super bummed out that a lot of the Go conferences and such are being canceled or rescheduled this year. I applied to GopherCon UK, but of course, who knows if it's going to happen. I suspect that... Well, I know GoCon Canada was already canceled, which is sad. I am speaking online. I am speaking online at GopherCon EU in the middle of June. So I'm going to be talking about the Sked group package I wrote, which I actually use in this, which was built for this project. So really quick, we can just talk about that. GitHub MD layer Sked group. So I think this is kind of a cool little package. Basically, the idea is you want to have some group of tasks, and zoom in. If you want to have some group of tasks, but you don't necessarily want them to be fired off right away, you can use the Sked group. This is Go. So what language is this? This is Go. Go is a language that I've been using for several years now. I find it strikes a very nice balance of allowing low-level like systems type programming, such as, you know, something like a C, but the kind of high-level readability of something like Python. So it is It has its faults. There are detractors from Go based on kind of the... It's a simple language. It's not meant to be like academically interesting. I use Go for getting lots of real work done, and I have a great time with it, you know? So if you like Python, chances are pretty good you'll like Go. I would recommend giving it a try. So basically what this code does... Can I run this? Not from here, I can't. That's a bummer. So this sched group, we're creating a group here. We're going to print out the number to the screen after a small delay. So in this case, we're going to create three timers, which are going to delay in the background for 100, 200, and 300 milliseconds respectively. And then this will print out 1, 2, 3 to the screen. Pretty cool. I can't really... Can I show it easily? I guess I could pull up the code. But... Sched group. Go test dash run. Can you test examples like this? Dash V. Shoot. Playground can import it. Yes, I can actually. So I could do that. I'm working on a presentation with using this example code. That's a good idea. I should have just used the playground. Right. Oh, nope. So this is going to... Let's tell it where that is. GitHub.com mdlayer sched group. So when we run this, you will see on the look down in the white portion of the screen. Waiting for remote server. Oh, I guess I should crank up the delay, shouldn't I? 1 times time dot second. Times time dot second, right. And 1, 2, 3. So fairly simple. I mean, it's kind of a simple sort of thing, but I actually created this because the NDP protocol mandates that you delay your router advertisements by a certain amount of time depending on when the last advertisement was sent. And also when a client sends a solicitation to you, it recommends delaying the response for anywhere between 0 and like 500 milliseconds. So I use sched group for doing that. There is one Go routine in the background that runs like a coordination timer thing. It's pretty cool. So I think as we get closer to like the GopherCon EU conference, I will probably do a stream where I practice my talk, and we'll get to talk all about this, and I will have you all give me feedback. So that'll be great. So back to what we were doing. I don't even remember how we started talking about the sched group. Anyway, conferences. That's right. Yeah, I miss the conference atmosphere. It's a lot of fun. So hopefully we all get a chance to do something like that in the near future. Don't really drink beer. I like cider. As a network engineer, should be cider. Yeah, exactly. Real part drinking in the UK is the kebabs on the way home. Germans do far better kebabs. So did I have kebabs when I was over there? I did have Nando's. Nando's was super good. That place is awesome. I wish we had that over here. So we're going to test this now and verify we get an error here. So this code we'd expect is internal server error, and the bytes is going to be something along the lines of an error string. So if we run this, right. Nando's was meh, food was cold. Hater. I'm gonna have to demod you for that comment. How often are you planning on streaming? So I'm not totally sure yet. I would like to do it probably pretty much every weekend. I think especially right now, lots of folks don't have plans going on, and neither do I. So I'm happy to keep doing this. As far as weekdays, it's going to be more sporadic. Yesterday was kind of a fluke just because I had happened to have a day off. So perhaps I'll do more afternoon streams like that, or possibly some U.S. Eastern nighttime streams during the week. But that being said, after 5 o'clock on a weekday, I usually like to be done with computers. So chances are pretty good that I will be doing this mostly on weekends, probably right around the same time. I like this time slot because it gives a chance for folks who are in Europe. I see we've got some folks from Europe here, as well as folks who are in the U.S., even the West Coast, are able to join at this hour. It's just kind of a good time for a fair amount of people, and probably what I suspect would be a lot of my audience. So it works pretty well. But also, I have and of course, streaming is going to be, streaming is more fun. You have things like Twitch chat, but also I do have things on YouTube. So I'm taking these streams and uploading them to YouTube, just cutting out the breaks pretty much. And if you're interested, you can check out the YouTube channel as well. I'm not sure if that's in the social links or not. If it's not, I should add it, but I just posted it on Twitter as well. 25 viewers at this rate, your raid's going to be amazing. Yeah. So it's pretty funny. I was watching some Mario streamers earlier. They're playing really hard Mario hacks, and I was thinking that it would be super funny at the end of this stream, if one of my guys is still streaming, we could raid them. Like, you know, just got raided. They just got raided by a programming stream with 30 viewers. You know, that'd be pretty funny. So we'll see. Japan here. Oh, no kidding. Welcome. I have no idea what time it is there, but thank you for joining us. Yeah, Dominic, thank you for hanging out. Right, error fetching forwarding, unexpected code. We are passing 500. Oh, I suspect we probably forgot to parameterize that, didn't we? No. So we want 500, we got 200. Oh, so that means that this isn't working? So so I know some people have, you know, hundreds of browser tabs and stuff like that. I'm not that kind of person, so if I'm not using it, it goes away. So this returned, yeah, this should return a 500. I'm hoping GopherCon still happens in November. Yeah, me too, for sure. One can only hope, you know. So this should return an error. Log print line error really quick. 3 a.m. right now. Wow. Yeah. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I apologize this isn't a more convenient time for you all. You know, maybe I could experiment with some different time slots too. Maybe I could try and make like a weeknight stream happen. That would be, you know, probably 7 p.m. US time. So that might be like very early morning in Japan or something. I guess I'm not sure. But thank you for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. So I think what we're seeing here is I'm not getting this error back for some reason. I don't understand why. I'm setting an error. It's not nil. What am I missing? Yep, we're returning the error in all cases, so we should see it no matter what. This is probably something really silly. I guess I should look at my tests again. So we're setting the forwarding state to true, but we're returning an error. We're querying for API interfaces, which is the route we would expect that will give us this code. We are setting it up. We're passing in the state parameterized. We're passing in the list of interfaces. Oh, there are no interfaces. Is that why? Yep, there are no interfaces. Okay, that makes sense. So this code was never being called because we don't have any interfaces specified for this test. So what we need to do is copy an interface definition. So we're assuming here that the system is configured with some kind of synthetic interfaces. So we have this ETH0 that's configured to be advertising. So now the test should pass just fine. It does. Perfect. So you'll see here the output we're seeing from the HTTP server is failed to check interface ETH0 forwarding state permission denied. YouTube works for me. This is cool stuff. As a net admin trying to learn Python and Go, this hits the spot. Hey, I'm super happy to hear that. This is, you know, I have lots of folks who are, I've got lots of friends who are, yeah, there are lots of like network folks who are learning to do more automation these days. And I've really enjoyed talking with network engineers because that's not my specialty at all. I think it's very cool that I can learn about, you know, things like BGP and stuff like that from network engineers that I would not normally interact with. More network people learning to code. Yes, awesome. The only programming streams on Twitch are game development channels. Yeah, I saw a lot of those. And people with a skill level of wow, I just created my first variable. Yeah, I'm happy to share. I've been doing Go for about 7 years now, and I've got a lot of open source stuff. So one of the reasons I kind of wanted to try out streaming was I know I do a lot of cool open source work. I'm trying to pivot away from networking. Oops. Hey, networking is an awesome field. Or at least you could do network software development. That's what I do, you know? Oh, I occasionally stream building a web server from scratch, so hopefully we can change that. Yeah, Taryn, you should totally stream today or something so I can raid you. That'd be pretty cool. I've written a couple of BGP speakers. Don't go down that avenue. It will drive you insane. Yeah, BGP is no joke, for sure. Cool, so this test does exactly what we want. I guess we could possibly assert on the body, but we don't really care. We're getting to 500. That's all we really care about, so... Failed to check interface forwarding state. I guess we could check the prefix. You know, why not? If not, bytes has prefix. Failed to check interface forwarding. That's fine. That's sufficient. T fatal F unexpected body output will print the stringified version of the bytes. What's unexpected? Failed to check interface. Oh, failed to check interface blank forwarding state. So failed to check interface ETH0. And because we're using quotes now, I'll switch over to backticks. I think that's probably fine. Failed to check interface. Failed to check interface. Failed to check interface ETH0. Right. But if I'm streaming, how can I mod here? I suspect I could probably moderate this stream on my own for now. You know, we're sitting at a pretty manageable point for me at the moment. I kind of committed to writing ifconfig and Go with Rainbow Comic Sans output. That will be fun. Just now. No more ifconfig. I uninstalled ifconfig yesterday. Check this out. Isn't that beautiful? No more NetTools. And cool. All of our tests passed just fine. So we can remove the error from here. We will add this test case. We'll commit this code, and we will move on. So first of all, the development script. What did I do with that? Yes. So adding a subnet to the development script is probably a good idea. Okay. Test for error fetching forwarding state. Run static check and race this time. Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it? Go test dash race and static check. Well, I guess static check first. So go vet and static check and go test slash race. Okay, I think we're good. Literally yesterday, ordered a bunch of hardware so I can build a PC. Ryzen 3 system. Nice. Need to get Linux on it first, then I'll consider streaming. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm running, is a Ryzen box. So if I do... Oh, actually, this will look nice on stream. Ta-da! So, yeah. Ryzen 9 3900X, AMD workstation graphics card, 64 gigs of RAM. Definitely overkill, but and three 4K displays, which is amazing. Although during streaming I get to use one, and the others are for like Twitch chat and OBS. But yeah, I love this machine. I love the Ryzen CPUs. They're so great. I'm going to continue buying AMD from now on. You know, they're doing amazing work, so support them. You know, I think it makes a ton of sense to, you know, support the competitor in the marketplace who's trying to make things happen. You know, every AMD CPU supports, you know, hyper-threading or SMT, their equivalent, you know. They're making Intel finally release something with more than 4 cores. You know, this has been a long time coming, so I'm really, really happy about it. Since we just pushed that, I think I'm going to go get a refill of water and use the bathroom, so I'll be back in just a moment. All right, we're back. So let's see here. What is next? I wish someone would make a high-resolution 4:3 or 3:2 monitor. It looks great on my Pixelbook, but I want one on my desk too. Yeah, you know, that's really interesting. I remember looking at the Pixelbook a few years back and being very intrigued by that monitor aspect ratio. Because pretty much everything these days is 16:9. I used to love 16:10, actually. So I had 3 Dell 24-inch Ultra Sharps. I don't remember the model, of course, but 1920 by 1200. Those were nice. And then now I'm running 3 Dell 4Ks, which are 16:9, but I can't complain that much, but that little bit of extra vertical space was kind of nice for PCs, you know? Let's go check the Reddit land and the Slack land and such. Verify. Let's see. IPv6 Reddit. What's up? Nothing there. And I think I got buried on the Go Reddit. Yeah. 1.60% upvoted. Huh. Haters, man. Cool. So back to where we're at. We are going to flesh this out some more, actually. So I think what we need to do at this point is consider either exporting these types or creating another test file that is able to unmarshal. No, I don't want to do that. Creating another test file that's able to unmarshal them, because right now we did a little bit of duplication yesterday. I was kind of in a hurry, and we don't want to do that. So I'm wondering if it makes sense to export these types so that you could potentially build like a CoreRAD HTTP API client for, I don't know, fetching the data into some other system. I'm not really sure that'd be super useful. At the moment, this is still kind of like a debug interface. So I don't know. I think probably what I want to do is, but we want to do pretty much the same logic as in here. I mean, I guess we could remove the underscore test and test all of this within the confines of the package, but yeah, I guess that's fine. I mean, realistically, I'm pretty good about, oh, the only exported function I'm using is new handler, so that's the only place that's being referenced. Yeah, that's fine. So test handler routes, that's fine. We're going to share the code between. So this is something we wrote a couple streams ago, basically how the JSON API is formatted. If you're doing JSON in Go, it can be tricky. My recommendation is to use structs with concrete types. Don't use maps. It just will end badly generally. And then use these tags, these little JSON tags, to set the names of fields to be what you want. You can also do things like omitting empty fields, which is nice. So I think where we left off here, yeah, we don't have options implemented at all. So we want to be able to unpack things like prefix information. So I guess the first step would be to start writing a test that will, let's see. So given a configuration, produce a router advertisement, unpack it into the JSON, and then we verify the JSON body output. So this is going to be a bit more complex, but I think this will be worth doing. So interfaces. Yep, this is where we were at last time. We were just checking the names. So I think what we're going to want is we're going to want a helper here that factors out this JSON unmarshaling, gives us this temporary body. So maps are for when the producer of the JSON sucks at their job and gives you unpredictable structure. Yeah, I won't name names, but I've worked with a couple of APIs that were presumably PHP backends and just had all kinds of very strange behaviors with PHP associative arrays marshaling into JSON. So, not a fan. Let's see here. So func JSON body or parse JSON body. So a byte slice returns to us this array body structure, and it will, I guess it could take a T or it could just panic if the JSON's invalid, because the JSON should not be invalid because we're using the Go JSON packages. So we'll just panic, I think. So another one of my favorite helpers, panic F. So panic F. I wish that was part of the, I wish panic F was built into like the compiler, but I suspect it's not because they don't want to pull in the format package or funct package, which pulls in reflection, which is huge, right? So that's my guess, but this is a helper I write in pretty much every package almost even. So RA body, return body. Okay. So now we will replace the JSON code. Body : equals parse JSON body B. Yep. And again. So I would expect everything to still pass this point. Internal. I really do wish panic F was in core. Yeah, me too. I wonder if it would be possible with the. So I know within the standard library there is the internal reflect light, which is used for error handling. I'm curious if that implements enough functionality that there could be a panic F. That would be nice, but I guess what I also wish is, so oh, here we go. Here's some Rust fun. Why not just use log.panicf? I guess I could. To be honest, I kind of forgot about that. I don't really need the timestamps and stuff though. So what I was going to say is if I write a function like this So if I put panic here, so panic foo, the compiler will allow this because even though this function returns an RA body, it knows that panic is going to terminate the go routine, or it's going to cause a panic, cause the stack to unwind, etc. So any code beyond here is now unreachable. But if I were to do panic F, it no longer works because as far as the compiler is concerned, this is just a regular function now. So with Rust, they have the super cool thing where you have the divergent return operator. And I guess in Go it looks something like this, but this doesn't exist in Go, but this is something I kind of wish we had. So this says that this function diverges, and as a result, control will never be returned to the caller, so then you could have panic F like this and it would work just fine. That'd be kind of like a nice little quality of life thing, but to be honest, it's such a niche thing, I suspect it doesn't really matter, Test. Log panic F is fine for applications, not for libraries. Libraries shouldn't just be logs IMO. Yeah, totally. I'm usually using panic F in the context of tests where it doesn't matter as much, but I do occasionally put it in real code. So all of our tests passed at this point, so we factored that out. That's good. Now we can work on unpacking this JSON body. And instead of checking the interfaces like this, we will check the final configuration. So what we'd expect is something along the lines of want RA body. Okay, we're going to need to go full screen again here for a while. Interfaces is going to be an array of interface bodies, a slice of interface bodies, where each one contains the interface's name, eth0, the advertising boolean, which is going to be true on eth0, but false on eth1. And then the actual advertisement, which is going to be nil on eth1 because it's not advertising, but a pointer here because it could be optionally nil. And I think the only ones a lot of these are 0 value. Current hop limit, we're going to set ndp hop. Is that right? No, that's 255, isn't it? Yeah. 64 is the default. So this isn't quite going to work. Am I mismatching braces? No. Oh, I need the comma here, don't I? Yeah, okay. So given that, let's see. I wonder if we can make this... Yeah, it's okay. Or I guess what we can do is we can make the tests smaller for a while. Go watch. Yep. Wants declared but not used. Yeah, okay. That's to be expected. So now that we have this, we're going to compare this. So compare want against the body. Yeah, I mean... against the output of parse JSON body. Shoot. Okay, there we go. Unexpected. You can close this again for now. We're going to need a lot more output here. Right. So this is why I really like the diff, or the Go CMP package. So for example, instead of having to like do a reflect deep equal and see just a whole bunch of crazy output, it shows me, hey, these fields didn't match, these fields didn't match. That's actually super, super helpful for me. So I love this. I love this package so much. I thought the hop limit was 0 by default. Maybe we didn't specify it in any way though. So, oh yeah, I guess we're not actually specifying it, are we? Okay. Preference is going to be medium by default. Yeah. Okay. Yes, this is not advertising. That's correct. Cool. So now we're in better shape. We can compare the output of the JSON API unexpected RA body. So now what we need to do is start filling out some fields and then verify they show up in our router advertisement. So current hop, or let's see here, hop limit 64. We'll go with that. That's something that we set by default. Yep. Okay. What else do we generally care about? We could do the default lifetime. It'd probably be good to do the things that are we have a couple of weird timers in here that are in both seconds and milliseconds, and we want a way to differentiate those. So I'm making the fields actually specify the unit. So it'd probably be good to check that. So router lifetime seconds. Yep. Okay. So we'll say the default lifetime is 30 minutes. I think that's the default for CoreRAD as well. 30 minutes. You can treat this as your default router. And that equivalent is router lifetime seconds is going to be 30 times, or 60 times 30. Right? No, 60 seconds times, yeah, 180? No, I'm pretty sure I'm off by, yeah, I'm off by, what am I thinking of here? That's 1 minute. I can't math today, can I? No. This is so silly. 30 seconds worth of minutes, right? So this is not 30 minutes. This is the number of seconds in 30 minutes. So 60 seconds in a minute times. This is embarrassing. What am I, oh, hang on a sec. Am I using the wrong field? That might be possible too. Oh boy. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're probably not filling all these out, are we? Nope, we're not. Of course. Okay, so maybe I'm not so crazy. We just didn't finish the code. Router selection. We have the neighbor discovery proxy. Lifetime in seconds is going to be router RA. Router lifetime in seconds, and then coerced to an integer. Int. So now, do things pass? Does it work? Nothing? Hello? Okay. Save? Sweet. Okay, there we go. So it does pass. So my math was right the first time around. I started second guessing myself. It's pretty funny, you know. So we spend all of our time. So I suspect most people here are probably software engineers. You know, perhaps there are some who are not, or you work with computers in some way, right? So I think it's very funny that you kind of tend to forget like these basic mathematical things. I was hanging out with some friends one time. There was like a trivia night, and we were trying to do like a two-digit multiplication, like 45 times like 17 or something like that. And I was like, oh, I got this, and I couldn't do it. And all my friends started making fun of me. And then suddenly, like, none of us realized we knew how to do it anymore either. Like, I just forgot, like, you know, where you carry and all that stuff. And, like, wow. Just skills I haven't had to use in, 10 years now. They just go away. It's kind of a shame. What's going on? Okay. Back to this. So we need to unpack the rest of these fields. So reachable time in milliseconds is going to be the integer of the RA reachable time. Milliseconds. Yep. And the retransmit timer. Retransmit. And for options, we need to actually unpack the options as well. So, yep. Pack options into the array's options slice. Yes. Okay. Pack options takes a slice of NDP options. So options is slice of NDP option, which are all interface types. We're going to have to do some type assertions here. Fun. And returns a slice of option. Returns a slice of option interfaces? Yeah, because we're going to need to represent the different. We're going to need to have a different output for every concrete type. So I guess here's another JSON question. Do we want to, if we return a slice of objects that are different types, that's kind of strange, right? So I think maybe what we want to do is have things like, I don't know, I guess for example, do we want something like this? So instead of options, we would have prefix information. We would have recursive DNS servers, DNS search lists. Right? I mean, it is unless the objects have a type or kind field. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. But as soon as we start doing that, we're going to have to write a lot of special case marshalling code, right? I'm just wondering if, since this is mostly meant to be debugging at the moment, if it's okay to make the JSON a little strange, or if we should just go ahead and try and unpack things right now. Certainly no more difficult to work with in Go. Yeah. Yep. For sure. I guess we could store all the options underneath their own object or their own structure. Let's think on this for a few. If anybody has strong thoughts, I'd be happy to hear them. I think probably unpacking them in individual fields is probably the right way to go. Realistically, we've got prefixes, we've got routes, MTU, recursive DNS, and then DNS search list. So we've got 5 different types. I don't think any others are implemented by the NTP package at the moment or CoreRAD. So, anyway, back to this for now. Let's see here. We're just going to do kind of the basics in this test, I think. So router lifetime in seconds. So what else can we specify? Reachable time. Reachable time, we'll do something, this is in milliseconds. So I guess what is the normal reachable time? I don't think I'm specifying it in my RAs. I am not. No. Okay, let's check the RFC. RFC 4861. I've looked this up a few times. Reachable time. Neighbor unreachability detection algorithm. Must be no greater than 3.6 million milliseconds, 1 hour. I guess we should probably specify this as some number of milliseconds versus seconds, because that way we can, well, I guess it doesn't really matter, but I guess I'm curious what the default is for this. I guess let's check radvd too. So radvd.conf. Add reachable. Default is 0. Yep. Must be no greater. Yeah, okay. So I think we implement those same rules. So, okay, well, I guess we're just going to pick one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times time dot millisecond. You know, I mean, why not? That way we verify. Router lifetime. No. Reachable time, milliseconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Missing function body on line 86. Oh, right. We were messing with this, weren't we? Okay. To do. Yep. Okay. Cool. So, yeah. Any more thoughts on the JSON thing? I think we're going to have to tackle that. We'll probably do it in another commit, though, because it's going to be nasty. So I think I'll probably checkpoint here. And just take all this away for now. Keep the git patch list tidy. So now we're just going to verify and see what we did. We are testing now using the array body structure, removing the duplication, and filling out a few fields in a router advertisement. I'd probably argue for splitting them out. Yeah, I feel like that's probably the sane approach, right? I mean, otherwise you're going to end up with really weird, potentially annoying JSON output. So, and lots of weird code to deal with that JSON output too, for sure. So, cool. So internal, fill out all RA fields for API. All non-option. So now we were going to have, I think what we're going to end up doing is a structure of options. So type options is a struct. You know, before we get into this, I was in a hurry. We should put dot comments in this stuff. I'm picky even about unexported types because chances are pretty good we're going to export these in some form later on. So an RA body is the top level structure. This isn't really an RA body anymore. This is an interfaces body. So top level structure returned by the interfaces debug API. Debug APIs, interfaces, route. So let's do some mass renaming. So this is going to be interfaces body. Yep. An interface body is the body for an individual advertising interface. Nil if not. Nil if advertising is false. We don't necessarily have to document every field, but I like documenting the top level structures. A router advertisement is the JSON, is the body of a interface body represents an individual serving interface. Represents an unpacked NDP router advertisement. Pack array packs the data from an array into a router advertisement structure. Preference returns a stringified preference value for P. Stringified? Yeah, okay. And option is going to go away in a sec here. So we're going to work on it. So I assume docs won't break the test, but oh, they did because I renamed things, right? Oh, right. I think VS Code did it, but it didn't actually save the changes. There we go. All right, body, interfaces body. Okay, cool. GA star. JSON structures push. Okay, let's work on these options now. So I think probably the same way to do this is to have a body that contains options. Options contains the options represents the options unpacked from an NDP router advertisement. So we're going to have options such as prefix information, which is going to be an array of, or a slice. Prefix information probably. What are all the types we support? Let's go to the plugin. Plugin packet? No. Yes. I think everything that is an option is represented as a plugin in CoreRAD. So DNS SL, source link local, MTU, prefix, and routes, and RDNSS. Okay, so here's a question. Can you specify? No, that wouldn't make sense, would it? I feel like you could potentially, you could have more than one like NDP option in the same array, but I feel like that would be invalid, right? Like I'm pretty sure I have logic that doesn't let you do that, because that would be very confusing for clients, I suspect. I guess for now we'll just make an assumption. So, oh, yep, that's a good point. Thank you. I think you need to export that field, or the JSON package won't be able to access it. Yes, that would have been confusing in a little bit. So, thanks. I always forget about that. You know, it's just weird. Like, so when I have an unexported structure, I tend to default to unexported fields as well. I don't know, but thank you. That's a good call. Yeah, so to clarify there, the reason that this has to be exported is the Go JSON package uses reflection, and reflection can only get at the exported members of a structure. So if these are unexported, they will not be marshaled to JSON. So unfortunate, you know. So DNSSL. I guess I should probably abbreviate these the same way, right? Because everything calls them like RDNSS or DNSSL. LLA. This would be the source. There'd only be one, right? This could just be a string. We don't even need the... Well, it could be source or target, right? Is there any reason that a... So a router advertisement will specify or can specify the source link layer address of the router. Is there any reason you would ever specify the target link layer address? I don't think you would, right? I mean, I don't think that would make sense in the context of a router advertisement, because it makes sense in other NDP messages, but we're only thinking about router advertisements right now. So... This could be, I guess we could just specify source link layer address probably to be very explicit. MTU, which is going to be an integer. Prefix information, yep. Should I alphabetize these? I guess I could. I mean, it's probably the same way. And then route information. Well, I guess elsewhere in the code in the docs, I refer to these just as prefixes and routes, though. So, do I want to... I don't know, names, right? One of the two hardest problems in computer science, names. Routes, we specify, we support those, and then RDNSS, right? So... Okay. So let's start with the easy ones, just because. So MTU and source link layer address. Bring that back. There's probably a whole bunch of VS Code keyboard shortcuts I should learn to make these things easier, you know. Typically, I'm developing on this monitor. I've got terminals over here, so I don't have to shuffle things around, but I'm kind of out of my element when I'm doing a stream because I want to have everything on the center display. So now we need to pack the options. So func pack options takes, again, a slice of NDP option. We're going to do type assertions. We're going to produce this option structure. So for O is an option, and then a type switch on each option. So all of this code is coming from my NDP package in Go. So we are going to be directly using the APIs presented by... Ta-da. Okay. So we have this option interface that has the code for each option, and then I can do a type assertion to figure out if it's something like an MTU or a link layer address or what. So we represent all these different types in Go code by using an interface. So I have to do a type assertion because we're using the NDP option interface, and we want to check the individual fields. So what we need is case where O is a pointer. I forgot already. Yes. A pointer to a link layer address, a pointer to an NDP link layer address. We want var out options. Out source link layer equals o.address.string. And the MTU will be case pointer. I can't remember if it's a pointer either. It is. Okay, so a pointer to an NDP MTU. This is an integer, so out MTU equals the integer of dereferencing the pointer to the MTU integer. If anybody has any questions, feel free to chime in. We've got a good number of folks here. I'm really happy with this. I wasn't sure how it would go. I think I just announced the stream this morning. But we've got a good number of folks here. I'm really happy about that. I'm still pretty new to this. I am still working out like a permanent schedule and stuff, but this 1 p.m. time slot, probably most weekends now, is feeling pretty good. I suspect I probably won't stream tomorrow, but I might be bored, so I might do it anyway. This is cool because it gives me motivation to keep working on these projects, and also I can talk about my ideas with others, which is great. So, oh yeah, is Michael Stoppelberg around today? Oh, he is. I see him in chat at least. Yeah, we're probably gonna be looking at. I want to take a look at router7 at some point today as well. So router7 is a very cool project by Michael Stoppelberg. I will show it really quick. GitHub RTR7, right? Actually, I should open this in a new tab because I'm going to need the other tab. Go back. Oh yeah, this is a very cool project. So this is a pure Go internet router. So, oh, I said a stream today might be likely during yesterday's stream. Yep, for sure. Cool. Yeah, so this is a very cool project by Michael, actually using the... Does he have a picture on here as well? Check this out. Basically, this is an entire like Go userland set of daemons, like a Go DHCP daemon and router advertisement, all that stuff. Very finely tuned towards Michael's kind of modified Linux OS, and he's running on a PC Engine's APU board. So pcengines.ch. So Michael and I both use the same things for our routers. We use these PC Engine's APU boards. I have the 4D4. And this is what my router is running on with CoreRAD. So it is a little board with an embedded AMD CPU. It's got slots for mSATA SSDs, mini PCI Express cards for things like LTE modules, 4 gigabit Ethernet ports, a serial console, USB, SIM card slots. It's a great board. I got the whole kit in like a case and like a JTAG cable and stuff for in case I need to flash it for like less than $200 US. And it's been a great machine. I run NixOS on it. It's running CoreRAD. It's very cool. We're definitely going to talk about my router on some stream in NixOS. It's a very cool kind of thing as well. I have the 4D4 too. Not doing anything right now. I need to change that. Yeah, it's an awesome little board for sure. I love it for sure. Close. I'm still waiting for a Zen APU. Yeah, me too for sure. Don't get me wrong. I love this. It's definitely lacking in the CPU department. So when I'm doing Nix builds, I actually use my server, which is running a Ryzen 7 2700 as the builder. But as soon as there's like a Zen APU, I'm going to buy it immediately, and I'll use this as like a lab board or something. So now we're at the point where we can probably start unmarshalling these options. So we're going to start unpacking them. The options is going to be represented by the pack options. So now we should be able to get options in our output as well. Options, hello? Oh, no, wrong. So I was thinking of the raw NTP format. So the configuration format uses these as plugins because they are plugged in independently and they apply to modify the router advertisement. And a plugin could also be something like, in the future, what I want to have is I want to make it so that like CoreRAD can reach out to like a central HTTP API and gather configuration for a network instead of having to generate on its own, which I think would be pretty cool. So, but that's not done yet. So we're going to have some plugins here. We're going to have plugin.new MTU. Yep. 1500. And we're going to specify plugin.link layer address. Folks might also take a look at Go Crazy and Distry, which were pretty interesting Linux distros. Yeah, Michael is amazing. He has some seriously cool projects, especially in like the embedded and the Raspberry Pi space. Like it's unbelievable. Definitely check him out. His GitHub is great. His Twitter is great. Tons of great content. Really nice person. I would highly recommend everything he does. Is this just a... Yeah, it is. Okay. Do I have to... Oops. Is this a pointer? Hang on a sec. I've got to pull up the plugin package. Look at my link layer. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, so... Dead beef dead, right? Everybody's favorite MAC address. Right. So... Yes, the plugins are always source, so... The router advertisement will always have source. Okay, that's good to know. Go test. Okay, we have some problems we gotta fix. Let's close the other windows. And then get the test spec open too. And right, we haven't defined any of these structures yet, so gone, 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 and gone. Options is not a type. Oh, right, because I have options here. Yeah. Shadowed the name. Okay, ops. Sure. And then we need to return, actually, as well. Cannot use plugin. Pointer. Yep, okay. So we need a pointer to a slice. A pointer to a net hardware address. That's weird, yeah. Cool. So now we are seeing that the API output is giving us the MTU and the source link layer, and we're not checking those, so we have to add those as well. So copy and paste that into the tests, and we're done for these options. These are the simple ones. So don't get too excited. Options is an option structure, which contains an MTU and a source link layer address, which is copy and paste as well. I'm having one of those days where I'm still pretty wide awake. I had a cup of tea around lunch. My throat was kind of sore, but I'm kind of craving that afternoon coffee, you know? Like, I don't think I need it, but I just kind of really want it. So maybe we'll take a coffee break in a few minutes here. Hey. I think it's super cool that Static Chat got packaged for Arch Linux while on this stream. That is amazing. I'll share the link again. Super cool stuff. All right. Definitely Zen 2, and when I say APU, I mean the PC Engine stuff, not AMD. Yeah, so PC Engines, they call their boards APUs. I think the current one is the APU 2, which is confusing with the AMD terminology as well. But yeah, Zen 2 would be great. I wonder when they're going to refresh, because I think the current one is based on Jaguar. Well, we can SSH it and find out, right? One sec. Yeah, okay. Yes, I want to share this with you all. Cool. Yeah, so I SSH'd into my router again really quick. So authentic AMD GX-412 TC SoC. So running at about 1 gigahertz. Yeah, it's a good little box. I mean, so looking at what my router is doing, you know, it's using very little CPU, 300 megs of RAM. That seems like a lot, actually. I wonder what it's... Oh, traffic, core DNS. Okay, yeah, no surprises there, I guess. Yeah, I'm running lots of Go services on my router, which is pretty cool. So core DNS, which inspired me to create CoreRAD. There's also the core DHCP project that Andrea Barbario and a couple others are working on as well. That's going to be very cool. I'm not running that yet, but I intend to deploy it because I'm tired of running ISC DHCP. So I think this is probably a good place to commit this as well. Pack options. Type asserts individual NDP options to produce a options structure. I guess we can just say unpacks individual. Maybe I should call these unpack instead. I think we had this discussion last time too, right? Because we're unpacking the router advertisement to a different structure, but we're also packing that data. So I don't know. Do you still use GoPath? At least that's what it looks like by your project root. So I use GoPath still for storing code, but I use module mode. So echo go 111 module on. But see, I've gotten used to storing all my code in my home directory. So I have that source folder, and then I store everything still in the GoPath layout because I find it quite useful. So for example, if I want to jump to source github.com Prometheus node exporter, then I know exactly where that is, right? CD source hanf.co go tools, same thing. I find that layout super useful, and the fact that I keep a bin directory in my home directory anyway works out great. So I do use modules on all projects, and I would recommend it. I need to pull changes for that. I use modules for every project, but I still store code in this layout, and I have my CD path set up so that if I type Ethernet it goes to like my packages first. So there are probably smarter ways to do it, but I like it this way. It's not the right path for GoTools. Really? I thought it was hanf.co. Huh. Anyway, I mean, it works on my system, right? Not GoTools. Oh, hanf.co go/tools. Oh, interesting. Okay. Make dir go, move GoTools to go. I probably could have renamed it in line there, but I don't want to remember the slash thing tools. All right, happy? Also use the layout and made git so I can get project repo at work. So you can use the same command for relative and absolute clone URIs. Oh, that's cool. Very useful CD path. Could you share that? I'd love to check that out. I still store projects in their own Go paths, but also with the modules mode. Anyone want to buy my 3950 X-Men Zen 3 Lance? You're gonna buy one already? Wow. I typically don't upgrade my machines for 4 or 5 years at a time, so I'm excited about the new Zen CPUs, but I probably will skip this generation and wait for Zen 4. Zen 4? And I think at that point my server will probably be up next. So let's see here. What have we changed? We've added a couple of plugins, and given those plugins, we produce output in the API. That's good. Okay. Yeah, let's verify the test coverage, although I'm pretty sure we're covering every case right now. Yes. Okay. Excellent. Git add. Don't need a branch. Internal CR HTTP. Begin unpacking NDP options. Perfect. All right, cool. So yeah, making some good progress. I think I'd like to, I don't know, maybe we're coming up on about 2 hours into the stream. We could maybe switch over to some router7 discovery stuff. That could be fun. But I think right now I'm going to take another quick bathroom break, and I'm going to make some coffee too. So I'll probably be back in about 5-ish minutes, I think. So yeah, back soon. Okay, and we are back with standing desk mode engaged. It's one of those things where I find myself sitting down for a couple of hours and suddenly I'm just, I don't know, like kind of stiff in the shoulders and everything. And I think when I work on computers, I have a tendency to hunch over a little bit, which is bad. But when I stand up, I have really good posture. So good way to counteract that. And got some coffee too, along with a nice little Knob Creek coffee mug. Knob Creek is one of my favorite whiskeys right now for sure. Yeah. I like doing cold brew coffee these days, actually. So I make a pitcher of it every couple of weeks. I will grind up like half a bag of coffee, make enough, I think it's like maybe like a 2-liter pitcher. And then what I do is I keep the concentrate, pour some into a glass, heat up a mug with water in it, and then add boiling water. So that way I can do half the amount of boiling water that I do cold brew concentrate. And then once I've got all that together, I've got a nice cup of coffee that was cold brewed, but it's hot, so it's delicious. So that's my technique. What do we got going on here in the chat? Okay, some little development workspace discussions. Cool, right on. Oh man, this mug is awfully thin, so it's very hot right now. That's what I get for microwaving the mug with water in it to warm it up. So anyway, is Michael around? Nope, maybe not. He shows up in my chat view. I was going to say if you wanted us to look at... Is that him? I think so. I was going to say if you wanted us to look at, router7 today. We were going to talk about some of the neighbor discovery stuff. Otherwise, I could keep working on like the HTTP API here. I'd like to get this deployed for NixOS at some point too, but that's not going to be an easy thing, unfortunately. It takes a few days for those PRs to be merged, so in order for me to get this on my router, even in the unstable channel, I have to wait for it to be merged, and then I have to wait for Hydra, which is like the build system, to pick it up as well. So, wow. My Z shell history is 252 KB bytes. Would also be terrible if I lost it. Yeah, that is massive. I mean, shoot. I want to say I cleared mine fairly recently. Oh, wow. That's a lot bigger than I thought. Okay. Well then. Maybe not. 3.6 megs. Yeah. Yeah, we got some people with some serious shell history here. So now that we're on the like the 2-hour mark and stuff, probably go for another hour, maybe longer. I guess we'll see. Does anybody have any questions? We've been working on stuff for a while. We've got a few folks chatting pretty actively, which is great. But if you have any questions or something you'd like to see, related to like this or IPv6 or something like that, let me know. Pop into the chat, drop in a question. Happy to help out however I can. Otherwise, I suppose I will just keep working on code type stuff. But wow. Got some serious shell tricks going on over here in the chat. Cool. Let's dive back into something. So we can keep doing this, and they'll probably be okay. I guess we could at least do the prefix information option. That's what I really care about at the moment. But I also use the other ones, so it'd be nice to see those. We could probably get them done fairly fast, I think. So let's give it a try. Let's see how it goes. So in addition to having stuff like the MTU and link layer address, we can have prefixes. Sure. So let's call them. Oh shoot, we forgot to set JSON tags, didn't we? Darn. Okay. I like to be explicit with my tags. Do things like snake case, source link layer address. Yep. Okay. So we need to unpack the prefix information, which is going to be under MTU, because alphabet, prefix information. Let's see here. So out prefixes append. We're going to create a new prefix because there could be more than one, because I especially am running more than one. So let's see. Out.prefixes equals append out prefixes with a prefix structure which has a few things in it. So type prefix struct prefix information option. Cool. That's going to have things like the CIDR notation. So neighbor discovery represents them as separate fields. It represents the IP prefix, the IPv6 prefix that is, and the CIDR mask as separate fields. We're going to combine them into one, I think, because I feel like that's probably more useful. So we're just going to call that prefix. String JSON prefix. Yep. And that is going to be a... Are we going to run the same problem as before? So prefix is... Yeah, we are. Okay, so this is something I had to do for Prometheus too. So the thing is that... Oh, no, actually, we're good. We can create a net IP net using a couple of functions here and then stringify it immediately. So if you're into Prometheus metrics and networking, do you use the Prometheus exporter for NF tables? No, but I should, because I use NF tables on my router. I've been meaning to look into that, actually. I should make a note really quick, because that would be quite useful. I've got a couple of... hang on a second. github.com/Sheridan/NF tables exporter. Is this the one? I usually look at the default port allocations list too. NF tables 9630. Oh, there are two. No, there's one. Okay. Yeah. Is it? I'll drop the link in the chat. Is it this one? Because yeah, if that's the case, I definitely should run that because I do use NF tables. Yeah, don't use IP tables these days. But would have to set some counters some specific way. I didn't yet use it. Yeah. Unfortunately, what I found is that there are lots of projects out in the Prometheus ecosystem that don't necessarily use like best practices as far as like label cardinality and everything goes, which is unfortunate. So I hope that if I find one of those projects, I can help out or fork if I have to. But actually, another thing, Michael Stofferberg also wrote a NF tables package for Go, so you can fetch the NF tables configuration directly using Netlink. So that could be a fun thing to work on as well. Build a native exporter. Still lots of tools that require IPT. Yeah, I bet. Right, so we can take the net IP net. IP is the P or O prefix, and then the mask is net CIDR mask. So we're going to have, 128. No. We're going to have length of 1s and then 128 bits because this is v6. Yep. And then we stringify that immediately. Does that work, or do I have to add parentheses around that? I think it seems like it's valid. Okay. Cool. So we want to take the prefix and the CIDR mask and combine them together and then stringify it because we want the string output, and the net IP net type allows us to do that quite easily. So what else is in a prefix information? We have the flags, on link and autonomous, valid and preferred lifetimes. Okay. On link, bool, autonomous, where's that NF tables go live? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I should have just linked that in the first place. So Google NF tables. Yeah, this is super cool. This also builds on my netlink package actually. Yeah, my apologies. I should have linked that when we were talking about it. Yeah, this is a very cool package for sure. So check it out. That's also being used in router7, I believe, for Michael's firewall. So autonomous. Yep. I feel like I don't really want to spell out autonomous address auto configuration. I mean, I could. Well, shoot. I guess I kind of have a precedent here following what the neighbor discovery says, right? I guess we can. I mean, address auto configuration. It's a mouthful, though, for sure. Valid lifetime, preferred lifetime. Valid lifetime, seconds. I think these are both expressed in seconds as well. Let's see here. So the definition of the prefix information, time duration. Don't you specify these as, they are seconds. Okay, that's perfect. So valid lifetime in seconds, int JSON valid lifetime in seconds. And then the exact same thing for the preferred, which is after. Yep, okay. So preferred and valid lifetime are used to determine the preferred is how long you should use it for outgoing connections, and the valid is when it'll be totally shut off. So when I have this prefix specified here, that means that any addresses I create there, I should prefer them for outgoing connections for 4 hours, and they should be considered valid for 24. So if the prefix drops off, eventually they'll stop being used. I believe it's correct. But oh, interesting. Okay, there's a different NF tables exporter that uses the. That's good because I think the other one shells out. Sweet. So this is using. Yeah, I think the other one shells out, which is unfortunate. So. Yep, MD layer netlink. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I will check this out. I'll bookmark that as well. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, totally. I definitely, tools that use the native APIs, I feel a lot better about using those than anything that has to shell out, I wrote an awful package that interacts with the kernel IPT socket without linking to the IPT shared library. I didn't publish it because it was gnarly. Yeah, my understanding is the IP table's native API, is basically impossible. That's why everybody shells out. I've never tried. I discovered netlink pretty early on and never really looked back, but that's too funny. Valid is going to be the integer of the valid lifetime in seconds. Yep. And then preferred is going to be the integer of the preferred lifetime also in seconds. Yeah, real quick. So I know earlier, at least, there were a couple of folks here who were either new to Go or interested in Go. If there is something like syntax-wise or what I'm doing that you don't understand and you like clarification, please do reach out and please do ask. I am happy to share. I am trying my best to not assume any given experience level here. I've been doing Go for a long time. There are probably things I'm doing that are just kind of second nature to me. But I would be totally happy to break down pretty much anything. So just let me know. Did you know that ISC DHCPD has a protocol for remote configuration OM API? And when you send malformed messages to OM API, the server segfaults. Yeah, that sounds about right. Pretty typical C program on the internet, right? I've been writing secure boot tooling. First iteration was in Bash, but I used the EFI tools, SB sign tools. Bash only gets you so far, so I looked at Go for this, but I'm fake showing out those tools. So here I am, started 2 weeks ago reading the UEFI specification to write a native API layer. Wow, that is super cool. If you have a link for that, I would love to see it. I'd love to start that. Please do share in the channel. That sort of thing is kind of my bread and butter. I love like these low-level weird systems packages. So yeah, please share. Use a library that receives temperature readings with Bluetooth LE by opening the raw Bluetooth socket. Python library is the time I wrote my exporter. Used subprocess exec. Yeah, that sounds about right. The native way does rock. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I want to do more low-level stuff. I've been kind of, considering doing like a toy operating system in Rust for a while. There are lots of blogs out there about that sort of thing. Actually, a few months back, I did a super cool project. So this is... we're gonna get into the weeds here really quick, but interpreterbook.com. If you are at all interested in Go and or programming languages, check this book out. It's amazing. I've done this book as well as the sequel, but I did them in Rust instead because I wanted an excuse to learn a language. I had a great time. I learned a ton about doing things like essentially, create your own tokens and then a lexer and then a parser, and you evaluate it using... you do like a tree walking evaluator, and then in the second book, you actually turn it into a bytecode and a virtual machine that processes the bytecode, which is super cool. So I can link my project as well. So here's what I did. This is 2 books worth of stuff. This was super duper fun. This is something I would love to get back into, and I added even some crazy stuff to mine, like sets and stuff like that. I added my own data structures. Yeah, this was a blast. I would highly recommend doing this sort of project. But yeah, check out the interpreter book. It's amazing. Yeah. Okay, SBCTL is the goal, but it actually shells out SB sign tools today because the UEFI stuff is going to take a while. Okay. SBCTL and Go EFI. Sweet. Okay. So I'm looking at, let's see here. We've got SBCTL. Cool. Secure boot manager. All right, right on. Oh, these are my personal profile, aren't they? I guess you can see my bookmarks. That's fine. Go EFI. Awesome. Yeah, I love the idea. I will definitely check that out too. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, so I think if I were going to do an OS, I'd probably do... I feel like RISC-V would be fun, right? I mean, RISC-V assembly is pretty simple. And I know QEMU supports RISC-V now, so maybe that'd be fun. But I don't know. We'll see. Exporter. Oh, nice. This is an exporter for reading. Cool, okay. Nice. Yeah, I'd love to do like some more like IoT Prometheus exporter type stuff, but I have not done it yet. Not as much, at least, but can't wait for the RISC-V future. Zen 4 RISC-V. Yeah, that'd be pretty wild. I suspect not, but it'd be pretty cool to see like AMD diversify a little bit, and as far as like architecture goes, or just another company, even more CPU manufacturers. Even I'm a big AMD fanboy right now, of course, but. So I think we're at the point now where we've got the whole prefix information done, so we should be able to unpack this now. So if we specify a prefix in here with... let's see. I guess we should probably specify more than one, right? Because we want the ability to... Actually, are we specifying... Yes, we are forwarding. Okay. Might want to test a different case here. But yeah, we're going to specify a prefix. We're going to specify 2 prefixes probably just to verify we get both. Plug in prefix. Let's see here. So CR test must IP prefix. 2001 db8::/64. That's a example prefix. And then we will also do a unique local FTFF dead beef dead 64 as well. Oh right, this is a struct, isn't it? So plug in prefix :right. On link autonomous addresses. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, it should be okay, I think. On link true, autonomous true. Autonomous true. Let's mix it up a little bit. True, autonomous true. And then valid and preferred. Okay. Valid for 10 minutes, preferred for 5. That's fine. Preferred for 5. Right. Some pretty cool home webby stuff being talked about in the chat right now. Yeah, I need to do more like weird embedded type stuff. I feel like that'd be pretty fun, you know. I've had a lot of fun playing with my APU4 for my router for sure. So I think we're at the point now where we can start running the test for this and verify the output is what we expect. CR HTTP, right? Go watch. Cannot use. Okay, we're gonna have to do some coercions. Oh shoot, what did I just move? The VS Code file browser here is a little frustrating sometimes. I tend to drag things. There we go. I just moved an entire package just by accidentally clicking the wrong thing, you know, which is annoying. Right, we need to look at the RAs because we need to fix the compiler errors. So line 111. I wonder why they're not showing up with VS Code or Go please in here. Yes, this is an integer. That's fine. Cannot call pointer method. Oh, right. So this is where I have to do the address of within the pointer within the brackets. Yeah, okay. I got you. RA line 114, autonomous is false. Oh, that's right, because I used the full name address. There we go. Yep. Perfect. Okay, we're seeing some output from the tests. I'm going to make this smaller temporarily because it's just too big. Go please is still fairly buggy. Yeah, there have been a lot of people on Twitter who have said some really nasty things about like Go please instead of Go tooling, and I feel like that's not fair. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would have loved to see modules ship with better tooling, but like the Go tooling team is so receptive to feedback and they're fixing things all the time and stuff. Like I feel like it's not really fair that the amount of like anger, you know, they get sometimes from the community. You know, people are like, you know, LOL, Go please never works, and that's just not true. You know. How many targets is your Prometheus pulling? I have 8 exporters, one with multiple subtargets. I think I've probably got something like 20-ish targets. I've got a pretty small Prometheus, so. Ping. Oh, interesting. Prometheus exporter to measure network latency. That's cool. Yeah, people do like to yell. I just feel like it's not fair, you know? Like, Go please is an awesome project. It's being worked on by awesome people who are very receptive to feedback, and ultimately opening an issue is a lot better than ranting on Twitter, you know? I think our, you know, probably lots of folks here, industry kind of has a, you know, kind of a love for hating on stuff, and I don't like that, you know? Prefix is going to be 2001 db8. Yeah, 2001 db8::/64. With a, what else is in here? On link of false. So the autonomous flag is going to be true. The valid is going to be 60 times 10. The preferred is going to be 5 times 10 for 60 times 5. And that's it for that prefix, I believe, right? Let's see here. Fping exporters for smoke ping like Grafana, but no Perl or CGI. Oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah. Go Please was buggy with VS Code a few months ago, where it seemed like most of the hate comes from, despite the fact that the bug was fixed months ago as well. Yeah, totally. I suspect people are probably running outdated versions, a lot of time. You work on Prometheus. Do you know SuperQ? Yes, I do, actually. Yeah, so SuperQ and I work together on the node exporter, actually, is where we met, and we've also hung out a few times and had beers and such, so he's a great guy. Oh, Explorer confirmed drag and drop. Really? Today I learned. Let's see if we can set that up really quick. That'd be nice. How do I get the JSON? Oh. Explorer, confirm drag and drop. Sweet, yes. Thank you, Kale. I appreciate that. That will be quite handy. Yeah, handler test line 175. He made our food during CCC Camp 2019. Yeah, totally. It sounded like CCC was pretty, or C3, however they call it, was pretty wild. I'm jealous, Yeah, he's an amazing person for sure. FDFF, dead beef dead, right? Yeah. All lowercase, uppercase hex is wrong. I've worked on a couple of APIs that return like uppercase hex, or they'll return v6 addresses like with zeros in them, and it's just so gross, Autonomous is false for this one, right? It's true for both. OnLink. OnLink is true for the second subnet, right? True. Hey, test passed. We now have prefix information unpacked. The only unfortunate thing about these JSON structures is this is getting pretty big, right? I mean, you kind of have to have all this information. You can't make it much smaller, but it's just a little unwieldy, But that's okay. Onward. I guess if we can get the DNS and the route stuff done. Oh, so we have routes, we have both the DNS options. I don't know if I really want to do this 3 more times, This is probably something I could do on my own. It'd be nice to get another release of this tagged, but I guess ultimately we don't necessarily need all this either. Let's see. Yeah. So let's bring the text size back up for you all. I'm never sure what size displays people are watching on. I'm on a 27-inch 4K monitor, but I suspect there are lots of people on 13-inch laptops or possibly even phones. I feel like a coding stream on a phone might be kind of hard, but who knows? Okay. Yeah, I feel pretty good about this so far. Yep. Back into combined cider notation string pack prefix and mask into a combined cider notation string. Right. 65-inch television, really? So you're moderating on a 65-inch TV? That's pretty cool. Funny thing about fping exporter is, I was going to write one myself, then found this, and after 30 minutes checked out who the author is, the maintainer of fping. Nice. I'm not actually familiar with that tool. I feel like I may have heard of it before, but I've never actually tried it or anything, so I'll have to look into it. Yeah, so we added prefixes now. Internal CR HTTP. You could ban people with a laser pointer on a 65-inch. Yeah, you could. Oh, now I can say I finally have a... That's funny. Right. Output. Add prefix information options to API. That's fine. Oh, fping is like nmap for ping. It can do a large number of targets and has machine readable output. Oh, that's very cool. Okay. Yeah, because nmap is, of course, super useful. So... Oh, cool. Thank you for sharing in the Gophers Slack as well. Yeah, shout out to Gophers Slack. If you're not in there, the Gophers Slack is a great place to be. There's lots of very smart folks in the Go community. My 2 favorite channels are the networking channel, which is generally where we talk about lots of things like this, lots of netlink stuff, weird protocols, etc., sockets, and the performance channel is a great group of folks as well. People who are really, really interested in getting the best out of their Go code using things like tricks like assembly and all kinds of wild stuff. So would recommend both. We also do have a CoreRAD channel, so if you're interested in this project and you'd like to learn more about it or talk about it, that is probably the best place to discuss it at the moment. Also, of course, you can open GitHub issues and etc. So no big deal. Yeah. Yep, cool. Thank you for sharing the link. So I guess now that we've been going for a while, is Michael around? Because I kind of wanted to look at router7 today. I guess we could take a look anyway. I mean, you know what? Why not? Let's do something different. So let's go to source GitHub. This is all stuff I've got cloned right now. Stoppelberg? No, router7. It's your life, Matt. Look at whatever you want. True. Yeah, I'm just kind of like doing the JSON fixtures and stuff gets kind of boring, you know. So let's open up router7. Let's take a look here. We can go ahead and close that for now. Yeah, cool. I'll send Michael a quick message. We can take a look at this. So I was thinking there would be some good room for me to contribute. Cool. Let's send him a Twitter message. Yeah. So this is part of Michael Stoppelberg's router7 project. So router7, I think I showed it earlier, but let's see here. GitHub, and we can open it up. Oh, I've already got it open, but that's okay. Oh yeah, this is a pretty cool project. So it's got all kinds of different little daemons built into it. Things like DHCP v4 and 6, clients for those things, DNS server, etc. This is Michael's whole little like Go router ecosystem. He runs it on the same board I run my router on, actually, which is very cool. I'm using NixOS. I actually did not realize that router7 was built on the same boards as my router, so that could be a fun experiment someday, you know? But yeah, so I was taking a look at his router advertisement implementation, and I think we discussed this a couple of years ago, but he's actually doing all the work of like building the packets manually. Like some of these are just like inserting raw bytes or stuff like that. So I was thinking maybe we could switch them over to the NDP package. Yeah, see, like literally the headers in this raw format. If I understand right, router7 is like a full router in Go built on top of GoCrazy, which is the project to make a Go main run on top of Linux kernel no distro. GoCrazy includes automatic AB read-only partition upgrades. Yes, that is my understanding as well. I'm pretty sure this is built on GoCrazy. I thought GoCrazy was originally for Raspberry Pis, but perhaps it works on like APU boards and stuff too. But yeah, Michael claims that it's pretty easy to make changes and fall back if things break. So we could start breaking stuff, and just he said he would be willing to take some of the changes I make and just run them on his router and see. Oh, GoCrazy works for a couple of boards. That's cool. Yeah, so I wonder if we could make some changes to the NDP package to make it work for him. I believe what he needed was... Let's see. So he checks the interface. We do that. He opens an IPv6 con. He's setting these. I don't actually know if I set these myself or not. I think I might just pass them manually. He's setting a filter. We can do that as well. Let's take a look at these really quick. I think if we open the NDP package... Actually, what we can do is go back, open NDP. So this is my NDP package, which is what CoreRAD is totally built on. Packetcon. Yeah, I'm not setting those flags, but I could. So set hop limit, set multicast. These return errors. Yeah, of course they do. AF error. So I think that this is effectively already done in my package because we are specifying the ICMP-v6 control message, or IPv6 control message with the hop limit of 255. We'll use the constant as well for clarity. Nil, return nil nil error. And the same thing for the multicast hop limit. I didn't even realize there was a separate parameter for that, actually. So, okay, so that's something that he was doing that we are not, but now we are. Because in my case, if you don't specify a control message, it will infer that you want the default, which gives you... I think there are kids outside playing. I heard somebody like screaming. I was like, wow. So hop limit of 255 is the default for neighbor discovery traffic, the source IP of where it came from, as well as the interface index, because when you are looking at IPv6 link local addresses, you can actually... Wow, glad I don't have kids. That's funny. One sec. I will show you all. sgrep. Yeah, so if we go... So I'm SSH'd into my router again, and if I look at this, you'll notice that we actually have what appear to be some duplicate addresses on different links. And that is because a link local address is only scoped to that link. So you actually have to specify the interface identifier as well in order to figure out which is the proper link for traffic. So if I do IP-6AS grep, oops. So if I want to ping 6, it's just, I can't remember if it's ping or ping 6 on this, but I'll find out momentarily. So if it's ping 6 of, which of these is on the main interface? I don't want the lab. I guess it would work either way, but dev 0, right. So if I try and ping this address, invalid argument, because you actually have to specify the interface index as well, or else it doesn't know which link that is on. So if I specify ENP2 as 0, which is my LAN, there we go. You can see it works fine. So that is the purpose of like the interface index in these control messages. Okay. So now we are... Shoot, we lost the RFC comment. I like having links to RFCs in my stuff as well. Let's see here. RFC 4861, section 4.1. What does that section say? Let's find out. RFC 4861. What was that section again? 4.1. Okay. It's not quite where I would look for that. I feel like it's defined somewhere as always 255 though. Yeah, validation. Okay. So I would say it's more so per this section. So we're doing router advertising. Oh, I guess the NDP. I guess I could just say always 255 per RFC 4861. Always 255 per. Yeah. Right. So if we go to NDP again, I rename my interface as LAN 0. Yeah, me too. I actually run. My guest interface names, or my VLAN interface names, are like guest 0, IoT 0. The problem is that I need to move my. What I want to do is I want to cleave my primary LAN into infrastructure, like the routers and stuff, like routers and switches, and then like the home VLAN or the trusted VLAN. I just haven't done that yet because it would just be a hassle. So I just need to get around to it. I've been meaning to it for a while. I just would have to renumber some few things, and it'd be a pain. So. Yeah, I should probably do the same, but anyway. Go test. Yeah, test still passed for this. Cool. Oh, we haven't updated the dependencies in a while probably, so go get -d. Yep, so pull new dependencies, update them, go mod tidy, and go. Probably best to keep the dependencies up to date, you know. Oops. Go .star. Oh, shoot. So I set it up now. I set it up recently so that I have to specify a git config for each repo. because I was doing the annoying thing where I had the wrong config for work versus personal. So now I have this get identity thing that I stole from somebody's blog. Let's see here, nano get config, right? Is there anything in there? Did I just show you? I might have just shown you all. Oh, well. I'll worry about it later. Anyway. Yeah, so what I was trying to say is, let's take a quick look again. Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure if that matters. It's just like a key fingerprint or something. I just want to be on the safe side. So, how do I turn? One sec. I don't think it was a password. I think I showed like the GPG signing key, like fingerprints. So I don't think those are passwords, but I have a Git alias called identity that, one sec. Okay. I'll drop this in the chat, but I stole this off some blog. I don't remember where, but essentially I have to set this up and I have to specify an identity for each repo I'm in. So as a result, now I specified my personal identity, so I'll have the commits attributed to me in my personal account versus my work email, which is good. So, can you gist that? Yeah, I wonder where I found it from. Git identities blog. Setting up Git identities. Actually, I think I just found the blog. Yes, I did. Perfect. Okay, I will share this. Yeah, so I thought this was actually quite an interesting blog. The basic idea is you unset all of your global identities and then you make it so that you have to have a Git identity, because I don't know about you, but like when somebody commits with like, Matt's MacBook Pro.local, like, come on, So what this does is it forces you to set a Git identity for each repo, and I actually have ones for my personal work as well as my work at Fastly. So it's pretty cool. Check it out. That was something I found on, I think, like Hacker News one day. So yeah, looking at Michael's radvd again. We're doing the same thing now. Listen IP, we do that too. Oh, okay. You can use an nvarc to set git committer email and name at the top level work with work directory. That's cool. Include if it's easier if you keep everything separated by hobby directory and work directory. Yeah. Yeah, there are probably lots of like little environment hacks I could do to make my life easier. I tend to have like a pretty poor like shell hygiene, I think. But so looking at this now, I feel like we could just, I guess the thing is like I was hoping Michael would be around before I just sent him a PR, but I was thinking like, hey, we could combine our neighbor discovery code. He could use some of my stuff. So let's see here, go test-v. Yeah, all the tests still pass. What are the tests? I think I have some privilege escalation tests as well for, hang on a sec. Where are they? Permission denied. Yep, okay, so there are tests for this as well. So if I do similar to what I did earlier, set cap, yeah, so we're going to go test-c sudo set cap capnet raw, because we're doing IPv6 sockets on ndp.test and run ndp.test. We'll do the password entry, sudo pass. Wow. That's quick. Where? I could have sworn I had some. I'm trying to remember the names. I guess I should look at the individual tests first. So we need to open up the NDP code again. Oh, yeah, there's the same thing. Yeah, I think those were just like GPG key fingerprints. I don't think it was like the private key. I think I'm good. I just, I got paranoid for a sec. That's the problem with like opening stuff on stream. Like I just need to get in the habit of like always opening it up over here where it's out of the way. But yeah, so in here I've kind of got a similar testing setup to CoreRAD. So we've got, you can have a connection that's backed by IPv6 or a simulated connection with UDP as well. I think we're probably good. Let's check the coverage really quick. Turns an error. Oh, it's because it's the unprivileged tests, right? Okay. What are the commands here? -cover and ndp test-test.cover profile cover.out. And then we will, I'm gonna have to pull this into a different browser again, I'm sure, but go tool cover. So now I have the coverage profile, which I can pull up in my guest browser. There we go. Okay, so this is the coverage for my NDP package currently. So it looks like that code is being hit at least. It doesn't seem to be making a big difference, but I suspect that's because, oh, we're not testing deadlines and stuff. Yeah, there's more stuff I could be doing, but the thing is here is we're mostly delegating out to the underlying IPv6 packet con, so I don't feel it's necessary. I see. Okay. Oops. Okay. Hop limit is always 255. I have this bad habit of kind of like I skip the first few words of a sentence essentially. Like I'll just start writing something like always 255 instead of hop limit is always 255. It becomes ambiguous, you know. I'm going to grab some more water. I'll be back in just a sec. Ooh, maybe a little bit of coffee heartburn. Fun, right? Okay, we're back. So, yeah, we can commit this. I can't really think of a great way to like test this, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. Enforce unicast and multicast hop limit of 255. Yep. But I imagine if you were to set them differently in the control message, that would override the default here being set by the OS or whatever. So, yeah. Okay. So that is something we were not doing before, but now we are, which is good. We need, right, Michael's code. So he's setting an ICMPv6 filter. Yes, we support that now. Yeah, and then he's reading messages and like doing like manual parsing and stuff. I think we could start integrating our code here. I think we could make his life easier. serve, listen and serve. I think he's serving. See, I think I looked at this earlier, and I was looking at the integration tests he has. Source, GitHub, router7, internal? Is it internal, and then radvd? But that's not where the tests are. The tests are under integration, right? Integration. Router advertisements. Yep. Okay. Right, because I ran this test earlier. So this test is basically just, it's doing kind of similar things to what I was doing. It's creating a network namespace with a vth pair. It's assigning an IP address, verifying that when you're forwarding, you actually receive a valid router advertisement. So he's using, okay. I think the thing is here is that he's using this serve function in order to create his client side. So con, right? Server. I wonder why he's not just using his listen and serve. Because we don't expose a constructor that would allow for an arbitrary packet con at the moment, because we just hide that from you. Like, you know, we assume that, you know, given an interface, you say you want to bind to the link local address or whatever. So I guess, let's see if we can, let's see if we can replace parts of this, like start swapping out parts of this and see what happens, right? So, we're coming up on like 2:45. I think I'll probably go longer today. I usually have been doing like 3 hours-ish. I think we'll probably see where we're at around like 3:30 or 4. That being said, excuse me, I don't expect people to stick around the whole time necessarily, but for those who have, thank you. I'm having a lot of fun. You know, this sort of thing is really entertaining. So, not much to do here on a Saturday, you know, when everything's closed, of course. So, So I guess kind of what we want here is we'll start with something like our own version of like listen and serve, like our own version of these APIs instead of like breaking his. And then we can just go ahead and listen and serve too, right? Good enough. So I'm going to need the Go docs, I think, for my NTP stuff. Or I could just pull up CoreRAD in the other window, I suppose. Or I could pull up the NTP project. So, yep, we have dial. So given an interface, we dial a connection on it. So con, and then the address. Does he care about that at all? I use that for like debugging purposes. I don't think he actually cares. So con underscore for now. NDP dial. We're going to dial on the interface he specifies. And we have... So this is kind of strange. I don't actually understand well in what circumstances NDP uses different IP addresses. Like, I know it's primarily link local, but I feel like I've also seen like some neighbor solicitations and advertisements with things like the global addresses. So I have these helpers here that if you specify something like link local or global, it will actually bind to those address. So should be fine. Yep. And we'll go ahead and make a serve to as well for now. Why does he need the interface name? Oh, he checks on it. But he checks on it after he... Interesting. That seems redundant to me, right? He already opened a connection on it. Oh, no, I guess in his case, the connection is not bound to an interface at all. Interesting. Okay. Well, in that case, I think we can take IF name away because my code will do that for you. It'll actually infer, given a network interface... Oh, right. I have to look it up, don't I? Yep. Okay. So I need to take this code in this case and move it over here. Wait a sec. He's got this assigned to a struct field. So siface is used. Send advertisement. Yep, we take care of that. You would need the hardware address and MTU. Yeah. Okay. So we'll keep it around, but I think we'll assign it in a slightly different spot. Okay. So we need to do this. Oh, so he's got IF name too. He's got IF name and IF iface. What's IF name for? s.if name. Set prefixes. Gather details about the interface again. The MAC address might have been changed. This could be trickier than I thought. I'm curious. The MAC address might have been changed. But why would that be the case? Okay. I'm not sure I really understand that. Like I've got like some setup and recovery code and stuff in CoreRAD itself, but I don't have that in the NDP package directly. So I guess we could potentially, instead of by swapping out the connection, we could swap out the byte stuff, because I think he's using Go packet, which is fine. You know, it's not my cup of tea, but it's fine. But we could remove like his definitions of these things because we have a library that's well tested and does those. You know, so. And then we do have the ability to marshal it as well. You can use the messages without necessarily using the client. So marshal message. Yeah, marshal message, and the checksum is computed by the OS. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So I think we can. I think we're gonna backpedal for a sec here. Remove what we've done so far, of course, and see if we can help out by removing some of these duplicated options definitions and use my NDP types. Because he's got a connection here which should work fine, but it will just need to send bytes coming from, let's see here. So he's not really inspecting the router solicitations at all. He just assumed that if he gets one, that he needs to send an advertisement back to it. Okay. I suppose we could unpack it, but yeah, I mean, why not? Let's start somewhere, right? So if the NDP APIs support parsing messages directly. Yep. So rs error equals NDP parse message. Yep. The number of buff up to n. If error. Isn't there I could have sworn there was a tool that would calculate the right number of returns. Maybe it's because I have like a VS Code snippet or something, but I could have sworn this should just return error instead of nil error. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. M, and then if it is not n equals 0, continue. So we got that case covered. Now we need to do the type assertion. So if okay colon equals m dot ndp dot router solicitation okay or not okay, we continue. Continue. Yep. Yes, I would think it's guaranteed by the filter above as well, but just in case. Cool. Okay. Advertisements. This code unreachable? Was it unreachable before? Did I do that? I think it might have been broken. I think it might have been unreachable before, but I'm not sure. One sec. Get stash. Yep, it's been unreachable the whole time. Okay. Let's run static check. Ooh, uh-oh. Go routine calls T fatal. I guess maybe we could be a good citizen here and open up some issues, you know. So static check dash version and cool. Looks like lots of IP address comparisons mostly. Yeah, because the Go standard library IP types are weird because they have you get things like the IPv4 by default is the IPv6 mapped IPv4 representation, which is extremely confusing. Kind of bothers me. I hope that changes if there were ever like a net v2, but that's why myself and some others working on NetAdder, the NetAdder package. Let's see here. Is there an issue already? Cool. Static check issues. Hello from my Twitch stream. Hey, how are you? I'm good. How about yourself? Having a really good time today. We're about 3 hours in, which is typically where I've cut off before, but I'm still feeling good, having a good time. So yeah, happy to be here. Next life goal is adding static check to dictionaries. Yep, totally. I'm glad you're doing well. I am looking for a new language to learn. I am confused between Rust, Go, Python. Primary reason for learning a new language is backend and power to create high-performance applications and good quality code. What would you recommend me to choose? So I'm a little biased here. I think Go is a great language. I will say Go is not perfect for everything. The thing is that when you get into... So kind of the way I like to think about it is if you have... in a modern distributed systems application, so imagine you have like your control plane and your data plane. Like the data plane's job is to shovel packets as fast as possible, like saturate 100 gigabit NICs, do things like serve crazy amounts of traffic. Go can do some of that, but if you really need to squeeze every ounce of performance out, Rust is good for that. For the control plane, if you have things like an API or distributed systems coordination that is doing, a good amount of requests, but not necessarily like line rates like packet pushing, I think Go is great for those systems. So honestly, I think they complement each other well. But given the learning curve and the variety of use cases, I think Go is probably the best choice out of those three. That being said, you're talking to a Go person here, so I'm a little bit biased. Do you work standing up? Yeah, it just depends. So I actually have a motorized standing desk from Uplift, so I can do this. And see you later, Twitch chat. Go up or down. So I started standing up for a little bit, but I'll probably switch to sitting down again fairly soon. Yeah. Standing desk is great because it gives you a chance to just kind of get up and stretch your legs a little bit, and it's good for keeping you awake if you're tired some days, Just ran static check v and noticed some issues. Filing issues against Staffelberg. Yeah. On the repo and wanted to let you know. Excuse me. Actually, you know what? I suppose we could fix these on stream. That would be a pretty nice thing of us to do, right? So do we want to work on the neighbor discovery stuff, or do we want to be good open source citizens and fix static check issues? I will take a look and fix up a few of these at a time, but a time too. Cool. So, Porque no los dos. Yeah, exactly. Get status. I guess the thing is like I wonder, how far we're gonna get into the weeds here. So let's try swapping out a little bit more code, and then we can do some static check stuff too. I can try and explain like why some of these things are problems. That'd be good. Oh hey, Super Q. Somebody here mentioned you earlier. Said you cooked for them at CCC camp, which is pretty cool. I apologize, I forget exactly who mentioned that, but hope you're both still around. Was this unreachable code a static check, or was that a vet? Deprecated but not. Okay, so is that a go vet? Unreachable code. Yeah, okay. Hey, there we go. It was Foxboron. Okay, cool. Are you developing on Ubuntu? What terminal is that? Yes, I'm on Ubuntu 2004 in just the stock GNOME terminal. I think I'm using like a... I don't remember exactly the color scheme anymore. Let's see. Color. System colors. Solarized. Yeah. This is kind of like a solarized alike, but without like the blue background. So I kind of like the Monokai style theme, and this was pretty close without me having to actually go through and implement all the colors. So Monokai is my preferred for, or Monokai, however you say it, is my preferred for editors though. So we're checking the router solicitations. Now we are going to look at router advertisements. So down here, no prefixes, nothing to do. That is not true. That is not true, Michael. You still need to send router advertisements to get your default gateway. So perhaps in his use case it's not, but I would actually argue this is incorrect. Too funny. I could have sworn I didn't think vet actually warned you about unkeyed fields. I thought that was like a stylistic thing. I mean, I like keyed literals anyway, but what are my thoughts on JavaScript? I don't really have any, to be honest. I think that every language is great for its purpose. I very briefly did Node.js before I learned Go. I thought Node.js was super fun, and then when I switched to Go, I don't really see a reason to go back. That being said, I think it's super cool that the JS ecosystem has developed so many cool things like TypeScript to make things more safe. So, yeah, I don't have any opinions, really. But, use what works for you. Use what's best for the job. Oh, unkeyed literals are problematic because they lack forward compatibility. The Go compatibility promise allows adding exported fields to a struct. Okay, so you'll only see this for standard library types, but not for non-standard lib. So I've seen sometimes people will do them in like tests. They won't use key literals, but I like to use them everywhere. So, but I see what you mean because it could technically could break his code. So, and this is the zone, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. So what he's got here: source link layer, MTU. So we're gonna build a router advertisement instead of doing all this. So. That I don't know. Okay. Should I stick to learning Python? Do whatever works for you. Honestly, I think Python's a great language. Yeah, why not both? You know, Python is cool. JavaScript is cool. I like Go. I mean, I think Python is very useful for some things too. There's lots and lots of network people who do Python. I like Go, but you know, learn the language that has, you know, if there are folks around you can learn from, you know, learn from them. Learn a language that has, you know, support in whatever community you're in. You know, if you want to work with some kind of project that's written in Python, probably want to learn Python, right? But ultimately, it is beneficial to learn different languages. You know, I do Go 95% of the time, but I still do, you know, some Ruby for Chef, some little bit of Rust. Python's going to be the first language I learn. Yeah, I think Python could be a great first language. I think Go could be a great first language too. Unfortunately, I don't really feel like I'm in a good position to recommend first languages because I learned on C#, and I wouldn't say C#. Well, actually, I learned on PHP. I wouldn't say either of those are great first languages, personally. But so what all is he sending in here? I think he's got some hard-coded. Yeah, okay. So hop limit of 64. Managed is true. Router lifetime of 30 minutes. Reachable and retransmit of 0. Okay, that's fine. Yep. Router advertisement. Done, done, done. And then options. And the options are all done up above. So options, which we will build from these prefixes as well as various other things. So options is going to be, so this can go away. Looked at the check. It flags all unkeyed literals for struct types from other packages, not just standard lib. Really? Interesting. Okay. Cool. Oh, for other packages, not your own. I see. Okay, that makes sense. I understand. Thank you for looking that up. I appreciate it. NDP source. Link layer. Direction is source. Address is SIFace hardware address. So gone. And the MTU is the interface is MTU. So NDP new MTU. 32 SIFace MTU. Cool, cool, cool. This is NDP source. So I have constants. Instead of having different types for the... If you're familiar with neighbor discovery, there are different option types for source versus target link layer address. I thought that was kind of silly, so I combined them into one with a direction field, which is a constant. How long have I been doing this for? I have been programming in some form since I was... I think I started PHP when I was 13, but I really didn't start programming a lot until I got to college when I was about 18. So I'm 28 now. I've been programming for 10 years. I wouldn't say... It's kind of funny. Like, at what point do you become like a good programmer, right? But I've been programming professionally now for, I think, 7 or 8 years. So I've gotten a lot better in that time, for sure. Yep. Okay. Gone and gone. So I guess we can keep his logic here. That's mostly fine. Oh, gosh. We're going to have to look at the RFCs here. He doesn't have the flag documented. Oh, boy. Okay. Options equals append. NDP prefix. Oh, hey, Michael. We're tearing apart your code right now. I filed an issue as well, but right now I'm going through and replacing the your NDP manual marshalling stuff or your Go packet stuff with the NDP package options. I was also looking at, what do you call it? I was looking at swapping out the connection type, but I saw something interesting. I will get back to you about it. But basically, I saw that you recheck the interface because the MAC address might have changed, and I'm not sure why that would be the case, but we can talk about it later. For now, so prefix is net. What is net here? Oh, you're shadowing the standard library names. Ooh, that's no good. Oh, so 16 bytes. Okay. Are you... Oh, yeah, prefix IP. Okay. I see. Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. You you messaged me earlier and said you wanted to said I should work on this on stream, and now yeah, why not? Cool. So we have the prefix, so okay, I'm guessing here you're probably setting 0xC0. I don't remember the bit field values. So I could check my own package or I could check the RFC. I guess I'll check my own really quick just to see. Oh, we're looking at prefix information, right? We're not looking at the... Yeah, okay. Oh, gosh. I'm going to have to, like, draw out the bits to... So 0xC0 is... This is embarrassing. So... I'm gonna go to the playground really quick. Can use BC. I actually don't really know how to use BC at all. Like, I'm pretty... I've accidentally opened it a million times. I've never actually used it. So I'm going to go to the Go playground really quick in another window. 1 to the 7 equals 0xC0, maybe? Is this the onlink flag, I would suspect? False, it is not. Is it the Slack flag? Also false. Is it both? I guess that would make sense, wouldn't it? You're probably setting onlink and Slack. True, yeah, exactly. Okay, so you're... Okay. Yep. Oh, I figured it out, but I will definitely have to, if you have any like links or anything like on how to use BC, well, that'd be useful because that's a tool I never really have bothered to learn. Yep, we got that. Now we need the prefix length. Yes, prefix length is the number of ones. Yep, which is an integer that we need to coerce to a uint8. I only ever use its ibase and obase variables and enter values to convert. All right, let's give it a try really quick. You got me curious. So BC ibase equals 16, obase equals 2, C0. Oh, that wasn't that hard. Okay. ibase text effect immediately. Well, this is the first time I've ever actually used BC. Oh, okay. ibase equals 2 affects obase equals 16. Okay, gotcha. That's cool. 7,200 seconds, 1,800 seconds. So that is, let's see here. So valid 1,800 is going to be 30 minutes, I'm sure. Time, minute. And then 7,200 seconds. Yeah, a sec. 7,200 seconds in minutes because I'm lazy. And Google over here, 120 is 2 hours. Okay. So the preferred is shorter, but the valid is longer. Yep, preferred is short, and the valid is 2 hours. Yep. Valid, preferred, prefix. I know it's silly, but I like to try and keep things where the struct literal, what the struct literal expects, in the right order. Just helps my mental model, I guess. It really doesn't matter. You know, you could do alphabetically, you could do whatever you want, because we're using the keyed struct literals, but yep, okay, so IPv6 link local. What are you doing here? So you're fetching the addresses, and if it's not link local, you are specifying if link local is not equal to 0, you're adding RDNSS. Okay, we can do that too. I could also add DNS search list today if you want. Should probably reduce these lengths in a separate change. I reduced DHCPv4 lifetime to 20 minutes. Nice. Works well for active device detection. Cool. Okay. Don't know what type of programming I want to do. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Yes, absolutely. I mean, honestly, I think, oh, my stream looks really bad in Twitch. Is that just me? Like really bad. Oh, okay. I think for some reason the audio quality went way down. That was odd. As far as I can tell, everything's still okay. Cool. So as far as programming, I think ultimately you have to try different things to find out what you like, right? So for me, I remember being in school and doing the CS 101 type stuff where it's like, okay, print hello world to the screen, write a for loop, write a calculator. And like those were pretty boring. But when I started taking my systems programming class and I learned like Linux system calls and I had to build a shell, that became really interesting. And then when I learned BSD sockets, that's where I really really got into programming a lot more. So BSD sockets are the low-level interface for sockets that all of these programs are built on. And then now I'm building like a much higher level application on top of that sockets API, which is wrapped up with Go. So Go makes network programming really easy. So I think that's another reason I really like Go. It's just a natural fit for the kind of work I like to do. NDP recursive DNS server. Yep. Don't want the double indirect. Lifetime 30 minutes. And then the servers, there could be a list. Yep. Servers are the link local address of your interface. Okay. I use ULA for that, but I guess link local would work fine too, right? Does it matter? I don't think it matters what order the options come in though, right? Learn the basics first and choose what I have to do. Yeah, totally. And the thing is that you don't have to pick what you want to do right now. Like ultimately you can do whatever you want in your career. Like I started out doing my first internship was doing PHP like backend programming, like for like websites and stuff. And I thought that was fun for a long time. But then in my side projects, I started to dive lower in the stack doing these networking things. And then now for DigitalOcean and now Fastly, I do lots of low-level network programming. For me, that is what I find fun. There are folks who are like cryptography experts or experts in all kinds of different fields. And ultimately, you will find something that you specialize in perhaps, but also it's good to just try different things and see what you like. Because just because I find this interesting does not mean you necessarily will. There are people who don't care at all about IPv6 or Ethernet frames. For me, I love that stuff. Yeah, I don't think the order matters either. I feel like I usually put the link layer address last, but I don't see why it would matter. Because it's all just like TLV format. And with that, I believe we are pretty close to done. We can get rid of most of this because the NDP package can do the marshalling for us. So MB error, NDP marshal. All right. And with any luck, yeah, some people really like writing monitoring software. Yeah, totally. I think that, Prometheus stuff is also super fun. So, for example, I work on Prometheus as well. I would say monitoring is something I am interested in. I would not say it is my passion when it comes to programming, but I really enjoy it. I love charts and graphs. Wrong folder. RTR7. I'm guessing you couldn't get the router7 org on GitHub. Let's see here. So I think with that, go build. I'm going to assume that's something you correct. Somehow that was taken. That's a bummer. Internal radvd, go build. Yep, works fine. We pulled the version from today. So now, Michael, if I run your integration tests again, we can see if this works, right? I did this a little bit earlier, actually, on the stream as well. Go test-c. Capnet raw. Oh, my shell history is so wacky sometimes. radvd.test. radvd.test. And yeah, I guess we can do the cover profile too. Yep. Operation not permitted to create a network namespace. Oh, I bet we need capnet admin, don't we? Okay. I'm trying to not encourage sudoing into everything, but still not permitted. Is this our namespace is cap sysadmin. I guess in the interest of just like time here, I'm just gonna sudo, but it feels bad, man. Let me commit my makefile. Okay, yeah, it'd be great. Cool. Okay, so we are seeing unexpected output. Oh, I think I changed the ordering. I think that's the problem here. But hey, we're getting valid arrays, it looks like. So I can actually modify your tests too to, let's see here. So you've got your listener. It has targets for all this. Pull now. Okay. Yeah. Let's check out your makefile. Can I do like make test radvd or... Oh, make test. Okay. Simulate recover. Sweet. This is extremely cool, by the way. It's so funny how I didn't realize that router 7 ran on. Oh, I don't have rights to your... Cannot read from repository. Oh, is this a private repo, Michael? The dynamic DNS? Remove that? Okay. By the way, does this count as pair programming? Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, right? Twitch chat programming. Prober7, command probe, repository not found. Router 7 tools. Oh, I don't think I have access to router 7 tools either. Okay. 7 tools. Do I need to... No, tools is okay. What am I... Prober 7 needs to go. Okay. So many secret repos. Yeah. I mean, I understand that. We're not Twitch this programming yet. That would probably not go too well. Commands in chat. Yeah. Totally. Prober 7. Oh, no worries. Yeah. I mean, I think it's fun to work through this stuff together, you know? Okay. Let's try this. Okay. That's something else. Root dev must find. Undefined. Is this vendored? Do I need to... It's not vendored. Shoot. Variable dir unset. So I can go back and run the radvd tests manually. Let me come like, okay, you're good. This is great. I'm only embarrassing you in front of a couple dozen Twitch viewers. Just kidding, but so if I do this, okay, I can at least do this for now, just for the router advertisements. That's totally fine. But so I think what I wanted to do here, pull now. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, right. Okay. So I'm going to have to go back, remove that, get pull. Okay. Make test. Invalid. Oh, it's because I think I undid my changes to the makefile, didn't I? No. Did I lose my NDP package in there? I think I did. One sec. MD layer NDP. Are you on Go 114? Yes, 114 too. By the way, I apologize if I speak fast on the stream. That's kind of just how I talk normally. I know there are folks who have commented they don't have to watch my conference talks at 2x speed because I talk so fast normally, which is funny. But I think I might have... I wonder if I wedged my shell state or something. Oh, looks like DNS is in the Go mod. Yeah, it could be. Variable dir unset. Yeah, let's remove dynamic DNS from the Go mod. DNS, okay. So there's router 7. There's also Stoffelberg. Let's try this. And I think that something just undid that change. Shoot. The private one's messed up. Yeah, you're good. I mean, no worries. I think, like I said, I think I can go ahead and do this with the binary directly just by doing this. I mean, oh, now it's totally broken. Great. see. I have replaced directives. I did not commit. I see. Okay. Didn't think about the go mod and go some. Yep. Right. Is there anything I can do to just like work around this? Let's see here. Let's try removing this one more time, although, okay. Prober7 and DNS from GoMod, yeah. Prober7, yep. And, oh boy. I think that, oh, it's telling me dependencies to upgrade. Okay. Okay, that works at least for now. So I guess in order to keep this easy, I could just adjust this output, but I think in order to do it the right way, we should execute a router solicitation. You can try make test now if you want. Pull, make test. Okay, let's find out. That's looking good. Sweet. And I think it will fail for the same reason as before, which is the router advertisement change. Yep. Okay, cool. So now we have working tests. That's great. So the easiest way to fix this for now would just be to rearrange the output. Sweet. Cool. So MTU and source link are now at the top, right? I think I usually put them last too, but I think that I could. Let's see if we can make it appear roughly the same. Var options is a slice of NDP option. Thanks, folks, for the follows. Wow, we're actually picking up more viewers as time goes on. This is surprising to me. I kind of figured people would get bored and drop off after like an hour, but here we are on 3 hours and 23 minutes. And we're picking up more viewers than we had before. So very cool. Thank you all for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun. So we can put these, I think, last, right? So it's looking, what it wants is the MTU and then the source link. Equals append options with. Can I append two things at once here? Could I? Right, append is variadic, isn't it? It's a little gross maybe, but I can't wait for a radvd and ND proxy in memory safe language. I think I interstate router7, especially with Stauffenberg joining. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so by the way, I apologize, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but if you check out that link, there is a memory safe radvd in a different language. No offense, want to look into router7 before, so this is great. Yeah, totally. It's a very cool project. I think it's very cool that, we're taking different approaches and doing things like, Michael, the fact that he has like an entire system that does this is amazing, Cool. Okay, let's try one more time. Did that pass? No, not quite. Okay. So DNS server goes before MTU. And we've got it right now before the prefixes. How is that? No, that's not true. It wants it before the prefixes. It has it before. It has it after. Okay. So I guess we could just move this code really quick. DNS should go first. Okay. I would think this would do it, right? So DNS server, and then prefixes, and then recursive. No. DNS server, and then prefixes, and then MTU, and then source link. Right. Yeah, I use the CMP package as well. I just was sometimes like when I get into like diffs like that, like my brain just shuts off. I don't know why. I think the test just passed, didn't they? Let's go back to that directory. I'm pretty sure the test passed. We can swap out. Oh, yeah, I could have done that. You're right. I always forget. Hey, there we go. So the test passed. I was able to swap out your marshalling code with mine, and everything works fine. So do you want me to commit these Go mod changes, or should I leave them out? Well, actually, I need to add the NDP package, but should I commit the other Go mod stuff, or leave it alone? Yeah, sure, I can do that. Okay, yeah, so that's gonna be it'll be a bit of an effort here, but we can make it work. Git add -p go .star. No. Split, yes. No, 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 no. Oh, nope, nope, nope. It's probably a faster way to do this. It's probably one of these commands that does all of them, but nope, 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 no. Oh, shoot, I needed that comment mark. Yeah, I need that to handle... How did that get... No, nope. Get status. I do need one of the entries in the GoSum. GoSum. No, 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 no. VS Code's get view can unstage lines. Yeah, I bet it probably can. I really should learn that stuff. I just haven't yet. Yes, we need puny. No, no, no. Okay. The go.sum is strictly not required. Yeah, I'm just trying to do the right thing. Oh, so I managed to stage up a couple of changes. Yeah, I guess we can go into VS Code and undo that, can't we? That's what you all mentioned just now. So I hid this earlier because I didn't want it, but where is it? Activity. So, oh boy, okay. Stage changes, right. So we want to undo this. How do we undo it? Undo, undo, undo. Is there something easy I'm missing here? Git checkout -p. Select lines, right click on stage to say, okay. VS Code really accelerating. Yeah, I don't ever use this is the problem. Like I use the other stuff, but I guess we could just cheat and copy it back into the file, right? I mean, that's kind of silly, but on the left, mouse over. Oh. Yeah, I'm not seeing like any context menus like I would expect here. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. I mean, it could be that I don't have some setting set up. I'm honestly not sure. Let me just oh, let's see. I think git checkout -p. Is that what Taryn said? Git checkout -p. Discard from the work tree. Yes. Discard that hunk. Yes. 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 No, no, no. What did that do? Oh, I don't know how to use git reflog at all. That would be a mistake, I'm sure. I think I just undid the rest of the changes I had made. I think I'm at the point here where I'm probably just gonna undo the Go mod changes altogether, and then just go get the package again. And no more big tests for you now. Yeah, that's probably true. I probably broke that. Okay, go get Right, yeah, now it's broken again because of the yeah. Yep. See, that's the problem. There's always like all these like weird Git things you can do, but so router7 and DNS both need to go, right? In order for this to work. On the right side of VCS view, not on the left. Oh, okay. What happened? Compare. Git ref log. Okay. I see. Yeah, I don't have a commit yet. I was trying to do this all at once. But I think the combination of... Hang on a sec. Go away. Go away. Go away. Don't save. Okay. Everything flushed. All the file system stuff happy. Git diff on the go mod. Sorry, I think VS Code's doing some dumb white space thing too. I apologize for that. So, let's go back. Okay, let's remove these once again. This is an adventure. Yeah, something I think GoPlease is making a bunch of changes here. Maybe I don't want to use Go. Maybe I don't want to use GoPlease. Yeah, it's doing all kinds of weird stuff I don't want. So check out --go.star. All right, we're firing up good old Nano. Nano doesn't care about the context of the file. Maybe restart VS Code. Yeah, I haven't restarted it in quite a while, so probably a good idea. Let's see here. So we need DNS and router7 gone. Okay. Ta-da. Okay. Code. Close all the files. Git diff. Okay. Make test. Stoppelberg DNS. Git diff. Yeah, it's still... Maybe I pull in newer versions of Xsync, I think, in some of my code. That might be the case. Am I late to the party? Yeah, we've been going for a while, but now we're having a good time. Oh, Control K to cut the line. Okay, good to know. Am I late to the party? Yeah, we're having a good time with Git over here. You know, we got code that works, but we're fighting the Go module system and version control instead. pretty typical. Quality Go content here, very nice. Yeah, there will be more quality Go content later, but you know, if we can get the test passing again, make test. Okay. Stoppelberg, DNS. How is that still? It's not in the Go mod anymore. Oh, router7. That's not in the Go mod either. So I am failing. Change makefile to make. Oh, you're right. I forgot about the makefile changes. You are right. Okay. How did I just... Okay, there we go. So we need router7 gone. We need DNS gone. Okay. Oh, I think we're running tests now. Oh boy. What an adventure. Okay. So is it okay if I commit the bumps to Xsync and Xsys? Because I'm pretty sure those are from my code. Okay, cool. So git add -p once again, go.star. Here we go. Yes, we want that. We want to split this. No. Yes. No. Yes. 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 And yes. Okay. Wow. I think we are at a point now where we can be done fighting Git for a while. So... yeah, let's review this one more time really quick and make sure things are sane. Yeah, so I actually have one more question, Michael. So prefixes being nil, nothing to do. If you don't have any prefixes here, you're going to lose your IPv6 default route. So I'm not sure this is what you want. So would you just want to... Should I remove this? Or are you always going to have prefixes or you don't get IPs otherwise? So is that the logic here? I'm just trying to understand. If there are no prefixes, why have a route? That's true. Yeah. I mean, I guess I wasn't sure if you were running. So actually, no. I saw you have the. I saw you have DHCPv6 managed configuration set to true. So you were offering DHCPv6 as well. So in that case, you still want a default route, even if you can't advertise any prefixes. Does that make sense? Debugging through Twitch chat. Unconfigure public IPv6 when addresses disappear offstream. Okay, sure. Manage config true might be a mistake. Yes, okay, that is a mistake then. So I will remove that because that indicates that you have a DHCPv6 server that can hand out addresses. The other flag in there would be other config, which allows you to do DHCPv6 just for info like Pixie boot. So in my house, I'm running just other config. But yes, managed is a mistake then. So I'll remove that. And I will leave this alone. Because if you want your default route to fall off when you have no prefixes, then that's the correct option. So, yeah, of course. Happy to help out. We deleted a lot of code. It's nice. Get status. Okay. I'll make a branch just in case. Git checkout -b mdl radvd git commit or no gc. Would have taken some wall clock time for the same discussion over an issue. Pair programming for the win. Yeah, for sure. It's weird though when one part of the pair is in Twitch chat and the other part is talking to a webcam and coding. Right, internal radvd. Switch to github.com mdlayer ndp types. Get identity. Once again, personal. Okay. Live video chat next time. Yeah, we could do that. That could be pretty fun, actually. Do some pair programming. I could have you in a window as well. Have to set up an OBS scene for that, but we could definitely do that. Yeah, please. Yeah, totally. That would be a lot of fun. That's a great idea. So let's make a fork. Fork. Get status. Right, I need to add a remote fork, which is GitHub mdlayer router7, because I have a GitHub alias for SSHing into GitHub. Git push -u origin head. Fork head, sorry. Yep. Okay. Hello, Twitch chat. Maybe with VS Code sharing for the session too. Yeah, totally. That's a great idea. I guess I'm not sure if Michael uses VS Code. I mean, I'm happy with that, but I suspect I would be slowing him down a little bit. Verify one more time that all these changes are what we want. Xsync, xsys, yep. I'm not sure if you still need GoPacket. You probably use it elsewhere, but... yeah, cool. I use Emacs, but can use any editor for streaming. Cool, okay. CC Stoppelberg, cool. All right. If you're patient with the productivity hit, yeah, for sure, no problem. I mean, the thing is that like, when you're coding on a stream and stuff, you never expect it to be like the fastest thing, right? It's just that you're doing it, for the experience. So. Cool. I have a GitHub notification. Let me see what that is. I hope it's not somebody working on a weekend. But static check. Oh, right. So it's yours. Okay, cool. Let me clear these really quick. And there we go. Oh, yeah. So now that since we're still going, we can fix up a few static check issues. That'd be fun. I can talk about why. Let me close some windows over here. Close. Okay. One sec, someone sent me a pull request BRB. Just being able to type during the discussion is probably the relevant part instead of having to say left, right. Yeah, totally. All right, I'm gonna go refill water and use the bathroom one more time. 3 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah, I'm still feeling good. I think we can probably keep going. We can nail down some static check problems. Um, hey, it happens, you know. Especially for personal projects and stuff. So it looks like a lot of these are in tests anyway. So whatever, you know. Yeah, I will be back in a couple of minutes. BRB. All right, and we are back. Got a couple things going on in the chat over here. Oh boy. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So let's go through some of these. Let's see if we can help out a little bit. You know. Oops. That's not what I intended to do. Sometimes my keyboard shortcuts will like jump things around a bit. You know. Yeah. So we can just run static check locally here, and let's see. I guess I'm not sure. We can probably work off of master is probably the same way to do this. So, oops. I want to keep these changes, but I guess I'll stash for now. Get stash, master pull, get stash. Oh, did you fix the go mod? Pull now. Oh, okay. Get stash pop, get diff. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I can go ahead and get checkout dash go dot. Oh, what do I have staged? Oh gosh, stupid. Restore staged go mod get checkout dash make file reset. Okay, there we go. So now we are clean. So if I make test, I should be able to run all the tests now, I would think. Yep, sweet. Okay, we're good. Let's see here. Yeah, things are rolling right along. Can you rebase your commit onto the latest master? Yeah, definitely. Let's see, one sec. One MDL radvd get rebase onto master. You know, I just realized something too. I don't think I ran the test after I removed the managed bit, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna fail because I have to remove the managed bit from the test output. Yep. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Yes, exactly. So I can modify that bit because we actually did change the router advertisement slightly. I suspected that was the case, but stateful space. No. Okay. Cool. Yep. So we're good. Integration. I'm gonna go ahead and amend my commit because I feel like it's okay. And force push because we rebased anyway. I guess we have to force push, don't we? So yeah. Okay. What was I down here? Right. Approved. Sweet. Okay. Yeah, I would expect the Travis CI build to pass as well. Booting virtual machine. Okay, I think I'll take a sec. We can clean up some static check stuff in the meantime. This is going to be a master pretty soon, so I guess we could just work off this branch. And then I could stash and switch to master and etc. Yeah. Cool. Let's see here really quick. Ta-da. There we go. I wonder if I could have done that with the command line. Yes, I can. Okay. Sweet. Wow, I saw a couple of IRL friends pop in here for a sec. I wonder if they're still here trolling. Okay, I don't see them in the chat. I think we're good. I think I'm safe for now. Oh boy. Oh hey, Super Q, thank you for sharing the link in the Prometheus channel as well. Holy cow, my phone is exploding. Yeah, anyway, let's work on some static check stuff. Actually, I want to check the Travis build really quick and just verify. Oh, still booting. Yeah, this is... I feel like I've had either... Oh, there we go. Okay. Travis is either really quick or really slow. It just depends, you know. This must still be running. But, okay. So let's start. I think I saw the DHCP package needed some love, so we can start there. DHCP 4D. Static check dot. I think a lot of those were IP address comparisons. Yeah. So the reason, I guess we'll take a look at this really quick, but DHCP 4D. 115. Okay. Yeah, so the reason this matters is, hang on a sec. Golang net equal. Yeah, so the reason this matters is, once again, the silly standard library / well, it's a thing, I guess. I don't understand the utility of it, but it's a thing. So the standard library takes IPv4 addresses and maps them into their IPv6 format by default. So you have to specify 2.4. So the problem is if you're doing a byte-for-byte comparison, then two addresses that are IPv4 but IPv6 mapped IPv4 will not be equal. We can actually demonstrate this too. Play.golang.org. So we will do format.println bytes.equal. I guess we'll make a : net. How's the text size on this? I'll make it bigger for now. Oh, that's pretty big. Anyway, IPv4 192.0.20. B net IPv4 192.0.20.0.24. So the problem is here is that even though these show up as the same thing, so if I print these to the screen, they look like they're the same. The problem is they're being represented in a different way according to Go. So if I do bytes equal AB, because IP address is just byte slices, they are false because the IPv6 map format has a different underlying representation. But if I do A.equals B, then it's true. So the code actually accounts for that. So this is something the standard library does. This is a little frustrating, but this is why static check says you should use bytes, or not use bytes equal for IPs. You should use the equal method instead. Right. So not got equal want. Yep. Okay. 158. I suspect there's going to be just a fair few number of these, right? So 158. So if got equals want, got equals, not got equal. Yep. 166. 191. Oh, Dave Cheney just wrote about comparison challenges in Go. Yeah, that's interesting. I saw that. I think that was a Brad Fitzpatrick thing. So if you underscore like a slice of like functions or something that's like of length 0, or like an array of functions that's length 0, you can make your types not comparable. Which is an interesting hack. It can also make the code smaller. Yep. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen, or excuse me, I knew about Dave's blog. I had not read it yet because it was like right before I got on the stream. So let's see here. Bytes equal got want. We can fix these all at once. Got dot equal want. Replace. Let's run it again. 411. Okay. Hey, Michael, would you prefer one pull request for these or separate ones per package? I tend to like doing per package, or I could do a commit per package. Up to you. Just let me know. Got equals want. Okay. Commit per package sounds good. Okay, perfect. Let's see if my PR is merged so I can rebase really quick. Okay, Travis is green. Not sure if you merged yet. I hate when Travis hijacks the router7. All right. Let's close out these other tabs. Cool. Looks like this is good to go. You can merge whenever you'd like. I'll rebase as soon as you're ready. Okay. Right. So we fixed the DHCP. Okay. Thank you. Pull dash No, we don't need this branch anymore, actually. So for branch in... I have this little for loop I do because I tend to prefix all my branches with MDL. So that way I can clean up all my development branches easily. Probably an easier way to do that, right? So gco-b mdl static check. So internal DHCP 4D fix static check issues. Cool. I think that was actually the majority of them. There was a couple other things about like go routines. Yeah, T fatal in a go routine. radvd. Oh, you know what? I I don't think I deleted your types when I made those radvd changes. Sorry. I can remove those now. I think I totally forgot. Yep, I left a bunch of dead code hanging around. Sorry about that. Okay, so source link layer goes away, MTU goes away. I meant to, and I just totally forgot. The pressure of being on stream. We should also make Travis run static check. Yeah, totally. I would recommend that for sure. RDNSS goes away as well. Everybody loves deleting code, right? It's one of the best feelings. Otherwise, we'll regress. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Travis versus GitHub Actions. Yeah, so I mentioned earlier, I think I want to set up GitHub Actions for my own stuff. I just haven't done it. I'm using Source Hut, but internal radvd, remove dead types and dead types. One more time. GitHub Actions work so well for Go. Yeah, I've seen a couple of projects that are that work really, or that are using them to great effect. And also you can do things like you can have like a static check runner and then like a test runner and whatever else. Like you can do a lot of stuff like that, which would be pretty cool. So DHCP4 error string should not be capitalized. It's kind of a nitpicky one, but I understand. DNS. No, we're just looking at internal. We're not looking at integration. We're probably going to want to lint integration as well, actually. So static check //. Hey, you use golint. Don't call static check nitpicky. Yeah. Well, the thing is like I have to correct coworkers all the time about like the error strings thing. It's just one of those. And I understand the rationale because that way you can have like colon error, chained together. But people get pretty confused as to why that's something that static check would care about. Testing DNS mask. DNS mask or DNS mask queue? I don't know. Anyway. So go routine calls T fatal F. Yep. So I think what we want here is a panic format sprintf instead. Because a go routine cannot call T fatal because T fatal kills the calling go routine as well. So it's only meant to be called in the main go routine of your test. That way when your tests fail, it's able to be smart about that. Squeed from CoreRAD says hi. Oh, hey. Yeah, tell him to join the stream. Oh, right on. Okay, well, have a good one. Or are you Squeed from CoreOS? But hey, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I'm MD layer on every platform, so I always get confused whenever somebody goes by a different alias somewhere else. Like, I have no idea. Yep. So I think this is probably okay. I think panicking in a panicking in a go routine is generally pretty acceptable in tests, you know. Or actually, no, this is not a test package, but it's calling with T. Okay. I'll say this is fine, but if Michael disagrees, we can check it in code review, no problem. So I should make a shell alias that prefixes the package name. That'd be nice. Seems fine to me. Cool. Okay. Panic and go routine instead of fatal. Right. That's kind of what I figured as well. It's a test helper. Okay, so we got one in radvd as well. Okay. The radvd integration tests. Yep. So panic. We'll add a little more context to this if that's okay. Failed to serve router advertisements %b. And the other one was on line 83? No. That multi-line... Oh, I think the text is just too big. Yeah, okay, the text was big, so it was wrapping. That was the problem there. Cool. Integration. Integration radvd. Same deal. So panic and go routine instead of fatal. Yep. Then we have... Oh, interesting. So I didn't realize, I guess, that go please is doing this now too. So like if you're in a slice like this, you can omit the type names. And it actually recommends removing that. Huh, that's cool. It's a little more noisy, so I'll leave that alone if you want to make those changes or something. But command dhcpd. Okay, let's go on there. Let's go down the listen order. Probably going to be easier that way. Anyway, 390. Out bytes. Value is never used. So what's the expected behavior here? You're marshaling JSON and then indenting it into a buffer. Oh, the line below should use B. Oh, I see. So instead of calling out bytes, it should call B, right? I assume that's what you intended. Yeah, I think it was like just off it was pretty close to the edge of my screen. So let's run the test one more time, but I would expect that's probably what you mean as well. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I keep committing like data races and static check problems on stream, so you know I've got the Dominic watching out for me with his tools, which is handy. Indenting JSON for easier human reading editing. Yeah, totally. DHCP4D. Use unused. Make use of unused assignment. Yep. Okay. A couple more times. It makes me happy. I know this is silly that I keep running it over and over again, but it's so fast. And I like seeing the list like trickle away. It's pretty nice. DHCP4, okay. 103. There's probably like a jump thing in VS Code too. Interface is nil. Is there any more context you would want here? Or I guess I could just do interface is nil. It's probably fine. Oh, hey, you're using my Ethernet sockets package too. Cool. I should call it, I really should have called it packet sockets. Make it c.interface is nil. Okay. Sounds good. Yep. Technically lowercase, yes, true. I just wasn't sure if you wanted more context in that message, like the value of like a variable, but I'm not sure there would be anything super useful anyway. Internal DHCP4, fix error case. Okay. I think same thing in DHCP6 actually, like probably almost identical, I would imagine. Is this my package as well, or is this a different one? Oh, okay, yeah, you should be using, that's Andrea's. You should be using his for sure. Mine is, mine works, but it's really verbose and I haven't maintained it very well. So packet to send cannot be nil. Okay. Lowercase. Internal. Fix error case. Same deal, actually. And again. Knocking them down, knocking them down. 3 more to go. Okay, cool. Internal DNS. Let's close some folders. I have a tendency to let folders sprawl on me And then this view over here gets kind of messy, right? So 330. Sentinel empty. Oh, the name. Yeah, I see. Okay. We can rename that. So Sentinel empty. So air empty, perhaps. If you use VS Code terminal, you can alt-click code line. Yeah, I think you're right. The thing is with the VS Code terminal is, I guess I probably could run it in like full screen here. Yeah, I don't know. I tend to use a different one because typically what I'm doing is I have VS Code on this entire screen and I have my terminal over here on a 27-inch vertical monitor. So that I'm just not used to using the integrated terminal at all. I never really work on a laptop or anything. I much prefer the desktop way of life. Internal DNS. Rename Sentinel with air prefix. Okay. Oh, there were 2 in this package, weren't there? That's okay. I can amend the commit. 415. Yep, same thing before. The bytes comparison. Right. So if got does not equal, or if got does not equal want, equal internal. Okay. And the last one, I think. I think once I do this, I'm probably going to call it a stream. We've been going for about 4 hours now. This has been a lot of fun. Part of me thinks I should take a day off tomorrow, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be home alone all day. So I honestly might get bored and just want to do this again. You know, it's pretty fun. You all seem to be enjoying it. You know, I've got more viewers than I would expect. So that's awesome. You know, I'm glad you all seem to be enjoying this. You know, I'm happy to keep streaming stuff. So 240. Okay. Yep. Not checking the error. Let's see here. So if error. Yep. Easy enough. Internal. So I guess now that all of the static check issues are solved, we should make sure we run the tests again just one more time, just in case. I gotta stretch a little bit. Should probably switch back to my chair, although we're probably gonna wrap up soon anyway. So, yeah, test pass. Yeah. Internal / netconfig. The integrated terminal has improved quite a lot if it's a long time since you used it. I've started using it a lot, especially after adding a hotkey to toggle visibility. Yeah, maybe I should give it a go. I mean, like I said, the thing is, though, is that my normal development workflow doesn't use it at all, unless you can break out into a different window, maybe. But we'll see. I might give it a go for a stream or something. I think the problem is I'm trying to keep somewhat close to my standard work style because I don't want to end up like confused with the tools, you know. But I appreciate the info though. It's helpful. Add missing error check. Okay, for CAD. Apply static check fixes. Fixes number issue I just opened, number 42. All right, cool. We did it. we did our good open source citizen duty today. I think Michael had also mentioned I can delete my branch. Yes, I can do that. I will not delete the fork yet. I think Michael had also, yeah, of course. I'm happy to help out. This has been fun. I think it was interesting looking into your router advertisements. I think that at first when I was first on, I was looking at swapping out the raw packet con stuff for my NDP client type, but I just wanted to, I didn't want to do, I guess, too much all at once. But now that we got all the new types in there, it definitely tidies things up a bit, which is cool. Yeah, and if there's any other options you want to add, things like, so DNS search list is already added as well as routes, but if you find any NDP options that are not implemented, please do send PRs. I'm happy to add stuff that would be useful for others. So, Cool. I think with that, we will probably call it a stream. So, hey, thank you all for hanging out today. It's been a lot of fun. DNS SL is now very easy. Yes, it is. It is right in the NDP types as well. Yeah, totally. I mean, if you want to set it up, you can. Otherwise, yeah, it could be something for next time. Yeah, this has been a ton of fun today. Thank you all so much for hanging out. It's been a blast. Yeah, feel free to hit me up on GitHub, Twitter, Gopher, Slack, etc. I'm super happy to have discussions about networking things. And if you have suggestions or feedback or whatever else, feel free to get a hold of me. So, cool. Thank you all very much, and I will see you later.